13 possessions when they played against each other last year, and Shaw on Wells. McIntosh and Mumford. So the first bounce works. There's the big piece of mud on the ball after that bounce, and the free kick being found. It'll go to Kirk early.
And Cruz Garlett has the matchup on Adam Goods at the start of this game.
And they've got to mark a muddy ball. Trent Dennis-Lane knocked down. Goods inside 50, McGlynn.
Well, that's a great start for the Swans. A great start for Adam Goods as well. And a number of players have got over to him because they know he is a key player to this team. If they expect to play in finals and certainly contend, they need the ball in that man's hand.
And that's one area the game's been letting him down, Lynchy's kicking efficiency. So he'd be wrapped with that start, Adam Goods.
Ben McGlynn. 13 goals, 8 this year. And had a huge impact early in this season and having a big impact early in this game.
Started the season really well, Dwayne, and then he had that thigh injury. Super important they get a good spread of goal kickers with Adam Goods starting in the middle. So Paul Roos has pulled the right rein here nice and early, putting the dual Brownlow medalist in the middle of the ground. Ben McGlynn there, super important they get a good spread of goal kickers. Ted Richards started for him also for the Sydney Swans. He's a very good player, Ben McGlynn, works hard, and more importantly, kick true.
Petrie in the goal square, Lewis Roberts-Thompson on him.
There's the tall forward line there, Dwayne. You've got Hanson, Goldstein, of course, Drew Petrie, the vice-captain down there. So going tall, Brad Scott.
It's not a big defence for the Sydney Swans, so obviously Brad Scott just trying to stretch Paul Roos his resources down back.
Mumford down, but to Patch Adams, hands it off. Thompson, caught, had a long time. O'Keefe gets it out, Malcheski, McVeigh, and 360 spun, holding the ball.
Stay out.
Yeah, it just took on one or two too many tacklers and was caught in the end.
It's a fairly tall full forward line for the Kangaroos, but a short centre-half forward. At this ground, Brent Harvey playing centre-half forward at the moment. He now leads up for this one and takes the mark. Not such a bad option on a small ground to do that. Hands it wide to Ferrito. Kick half smothered. Rolls inside 50. Smith. Shaw. Short. Moore. Plays on with players around him. McGlynn.
Great kick.
He can take off here. Trent Dennis-Lane just inside 50. He's got it.
Another great kick on the left foot from McGlynn in front of Dennis-Lane. That is a very nice kick. Nice lead to find space. Just had a little bit too much pace for Pratt on that occasion.
Second game for Trent Dennis-Lane. 8 possession debut last week in the loss to Richmond. But he's a mature age recruit. 57 goals in the waffle last year, including 4 in the grand final. He knows where the big sticks are normally. That's across the face. Did kick a goal on debut. That was a horror kick to start his day today. Tie up in the pocket, ball up for TDL with LRT as well. I've got a couple of hyphens going at the moment, the Swans, which might tell you something about Sydney perhaps. Smothered. McIntosh caught. Adams. Handball knocked away. Almost too high. O'Keefe did well.
Good courage, O'Keefe.
Just a little fumble across the line.
He's Adam Goods there. His direct opponent, you're talking about Cruz Garlett. He's only the 174 centimetres to Adam Goods 193. So Brad's got to be worried about that matchup, especially if Adam Goods pushes forward,
which no doubt he'll try to do.
Mumford, little knockdown. Garlett beaten for it by McVeigh. Slipped it through to Kirk. Through that to Goods. Kick smothered by Adams. Mumford. McVeigh. Work it back outside 50. O'Keefe. Kick smothered by Wells. Swallow. Bumped on the kick. Good bump. Legal bump. Wells. Open forward line. Lindsay Thomas.
Been quiet the last couple of weeks, Lindsay Thomas.
He's almost played his way out of form as he kicks to Petrie with that 7-goal performance against Carlton. Harvey held inside 50 by Jack. And Brent Harvey will take the free.
It was good, well picked up, Wayne, and more importantly, the umpire.
I think actually Brent Harvey engaged contact to start with, just trying to hold Kieran Jack off. But once you hold the jumper, we'll just see here, there's holding from Brent Harvey, actually, it appeared.
The initial hold, I think, was
It wasn't the initial one.
Well, Kieran Jack saying he had hold of my jumper, but it was obscured by my grab on him. But you need a bit of luck in this game.
Yep, good start. Had a quiet game last week. Brent Harvey looking to bounce back.
He just 22 possessions against Geelong, which sounds like a lot, but it wasn't by his standards, and that's normally not his standard either.
Well, he's struggled against Paul Roos's coaching, Wayne. Only the 20 disposals he's averaged, so Kieran Jack or Brett Kirk normally get Brent Harvey, so Paul Roos is well aware of the impact that you have if you let him run free. Started well for Kirk. He'll get a stitch early. I think he likes to start games like that. Shaw, back pocket. Little chip kick beaten for a Bolton.
Wells
the
is
reach,
free.
Goldstein.
Just didn't seem the big ruckman.
Goes to the pocket. Lindsay Thomas. Mentioned he's played his way out of form. Kicked 7 goals against Carlton. Had an unbelievably good night. And then just 1 goal and 1 goal in his past 2 games.
I think the goal he kicked last week was a magnificent crumbing goal. We see Lindsay Thomas at times try to take the big mark. Just don't think it's really his role. Although Brad Scott during the week said he doesn't mind his exciting players to express themselves on the field. He's certainly one of the most exciting players in the comp when up and going.
27 goals, 22 this year. And he slots it. North Melbourne in front.
We've got the tall forwards for North. And obviously Sydney going to the focus with the 3 tall forwards in Lockie, Hanson, Petrie and Goldstein. And so super important. Harvey and now Thomas have had an impact also. So the running halfbacks of Sydney, they love running off their direct opponents, Lynchy, but they do have to defend on these guys, especially when you've got Wells, Harvey and Thomas pushing forward. So a good start there for the 2 crumbing half forwards for North.
And almost unstoppable when he's hot, Lindsay Thomas. We mentioned the 7-goal 5 game against Carlton, but had another big game against Fremantle this year, kicking 5 goals 5. So essentially the majority of his 28 goals for the season have come in 2 hot games. From the ball up, Goods. Jude Bolton tries to get it out, doesn't really attempt to knock it out. Tied up by Ed Lower, and he'll get up and get the mud off him. Jude Bolton, now 5th greatest Swan of all time, behind Michael O'Loughlin, John Rantel, Adam Goods and Mark Browning. He's been a fantastic servant, Jude Bolton. This game, 248. Free kick, McIntosh out of the middle.
Yeah, just wrap the arms around big McIntosh, so good body strength on that occasion to hold the front position.
Called to go, straight down the middle. Goods can't take the mark. Off hands Grundy and then barreled his own man.
That's good tackling there.
It is. I don't think Nick Malcheski was too keen to get that ball. There's about 6 players running straight at him, and as soon as he took possession, got hammered.
Well, I did miss a lot of missed tackles last week, North, so Brad's got to be wrapped with that gang tackle.
Mumford, Goldstein, McIntosh, they all went for that, the 3 of them. Almost too high, but play on duck your head was the call. And the umpires today, Matt Stevick, Matthew Nichols and Sean Ryan. This is Sean Ryan about to ball it up. They might have their work cut out. Good spot to bounce it here, but there's a glue pot in the middle. Little flick, McIntosh down to Goods. Moves a handball in the Jude Bolton direction. He drags Harvey down inconspicuously. O'Keefe, wide, Richards. North Melbourne flooding players back.
But you figured Ted Richards would be a key factor across half forward for the Swans today, with Goods pushing up the field.
Big round of applause as well when he gathered that. He's back into the team this week, and one of the local favourites, Ted Richards, didn't play in the loss to Richmond. O'Keefe, centering ball. Jude Bolton slips it to Jack, gets away from Harvey.
Good running, Tom.
Splendid kick to Lewis Roberts-Thompson, who gets a chance to kick a rare one.
Very good running there. Drew Petrie's direct opponent, so pushing forward to space. It's okay to push forward, but you've got to get dangerous, and more importantly, be in a spot where your teammate can see. So Kieran Jack had a look up the ground, and that was great running, great vision. And
most important, as you know, he's got to kick this. As a full-back, you love to sneak up the field. Done this plenty of times, didn't you, Spud?
Not quite.
Hasn't kicked one all year. Lewis Roberts-Thompson bends that back and still hasn't kicked one. for the year.
Drew Petrie will just have a little bit of sweat on the brow. That's just been eased by the pressure released from the post there. So that was a lucky escape.
Short pass in. Bastanak having a good season. Has been nominated for the NAB Rising Star and is about 10-1 to win it. And there's the first game of Robbie Tarrant with his first touch. And he helps Bastanak get another touch in this string. Hansen back to Tarrant, and still haven't got the pace of the game yet.
We'll learn from that, Robbie Tarrant. Probably not a lot of talk from his teammates either.
It was well done from McGlynn, actually. 50-metre penalty.
50 metres will take him probably to the top of the goal square.
I think it's against Ben Cunnington, the youngster from North Melbourne. I think he was too far away from McVeigh. Too close to the man in the mark, or the kicker, sorry.
50s are about 45 here at the SCG, and he'll line up from a good 30 out. It's not in the book yet. But he's already had a sighter. He's already got one. Strikes it okay, and it doesn't bend back enough. Only behind, they lead by that.
Just pulled that one to the left. And we just see here that a good tackle from McGuinn just didn't drive Tarrant into the ground by pushing him in the back. So turned in the tackle, and the 50-metre penalty just ran straight through the mark. Young Cunnington there. So bad luck, but you need to have an awareness of where the mark is, that's for sure.
It's okay to run through the mark as long as you're only 2 metres away from your direct opponent.
Yeah.
He was trying to man him up, but the leg rope was 10 metres, so he had to run around the mark there.
Faricho has been a delay. Finally, Rawlings, back pocket, coming off a 36 possession game against Geelong last week as Pike flies, can't mark it. Kennelly.
Oh.
Trent Dennis-Lane taken out. We'll get a ball in.
Lee Colbert looks very slippery underfoot down there today.
A little bit soft, Spud, as you mentioned, and Adam Goods is actually one player that's already changed his boots in this first quarter.
Which is strange. You'd think that they did a warm-up out there, and he should know this ground fairly well. Kennedy caught by Bastanak, not going anywhere, and we'll get another ball up.
Maybe he forgot. Maybe he's warmed up in the Mouldeds.
Right.
Thought I'll change him, then forgot.
Well, one thing that shouldn't happen,
Because surely
a defender shouldn't have Mouldeds on in these conditions.
Greenwood can't break free of McVeigh, and wasn't holding the ball either because he didn't have prior opportunity. We had a discussion about prior opportunity with our 3 men in yellow today, Matt Stevick, Matthew Nichols, Sean Ryan pre-game. And
did they clear it up for you, Dwayne?
Yes. They gave us at least the guidelines that they have to umpire by, which are fairly difficult for them, we must admit. We talked about prior opportunity, whether if you bumped, that's your prior opportunity. If you are tackled once and then twice and then 3 times, whether the 3 tackles that have hit you are prior opportunity when you get tackled a 4th time. But you must have an opportunity to actually get rid of the ball, even if you've had it for 3 or 4 seconds. Kennedy caught, gang tackle. Okay, so no prior opportunity there, but he just let it go.
He just handed it over to his teammate, which you can't do.
Swallow to Harvey, down the middle to Lower, who can run through the glue. Petrie on the move, cut off. Brilliant mark, Grundy. Stood in the hole, knew he could have been caved in.
It was well read too, because Lockie Henson led up the ground, but Grundy knew that the ball was going to the vice-captain in Drew Petrie, so good courage there from Grundy.
Malcheski, a little floater, Richards wide. Another huge round of applause for Ted Richards.
Good running from Lewis Roberts-Thompson again.
Gets the quarter play on and stripped of it by Harvey. Brilliant there. Rawlings caught, just got it away in time. Forced to mop up that little mess. Players dive in. Umpire letting it go for a while. Rawlings pleading that he didn't have it anymore, just in case the umpire was thinking of giving a free against him, and we'll get a ball up.
We talk tackles pre-game, Alistair. North are going well at the moment. Tackles, they've had 10 already in this game.
Yeah, much better start from the tackling point of view than last week against Geelong.
Adams, Rawlings, Campbell. Wobbling kick. Once again, it's hard to kick out of that centre area. Petrie tries to be slick with the hands. First game back since round 10 for him. Second game of the season. Might need some time to pick up the pace. Moore gave it straight to Thompson. Right, back to Thompson. He gets a rare chance at goal. Floats it across the face. and only a behind, and he still yet to kick himself a goal in AFL footy, Scott Thompson.
Rawlings just a heavy hit. Just as he disposes of the ball, he's up and about now.
Nice pluck by McIntosh. Harvey tries to sell some candy to Kieran Jack. Right, half forward, held up by Meredith. Back to Harvey, getting plenty of it. That'll count as a kick. Might not be effective. Lindsay Thomas tried to make it so, and Mike Pike, brilliant. He's getting better each game. In fact, he's asked for a new contract for next year, and the way he's playing, he might get it. Moore, wide, Grundy. No Matner in this game, and Grundy will be their run from defence. Richards thumped away, no free. Robbie Tarrant again, got a handball out. Pratt, that handball untidy. Richards strips it, gives it to Meredith. Now McGlynn should kick the goal, hands it over the top, and Jack kicks one on Harvey.
We've spoken before about fullbacks getting up the ground and making the most of their opportunities. Likewise, if you're playing on an extremely dangerous player like Brent Harvey and you're doing a tagging role, it's always good to get forward of the ball and kick a goal when you get the opportunity. But some good work in tight situations for the Sydney Swans over the last few minutes. Their pressure around the ball has been very good. Quick hands. Once again, Ted Richards was very good with the hands there, as he was a few minutes beforehand, or a few seconds beforehand, in a very courageous attempt to mark.
And Tagger is now a fairly flattering label to have. Brett Kirk's made it trendy.
Free kick off the ball against, I think he's not sure who it is down there, but Daniel Wells will get the kick.
So Wells at centre half forward. So it was being held according to the umpires. Is he within range? Bevan was the man who infringed. He floats it up long. It's very long, but and long enough for Goldstein, who had the long reach.
That's a great mark from Todd Goldstein. Now, we've seen Goldstein over recent weeks. He just looks like he's about to grab the game by the scruff of the throat. He's a monstrous man, very good in the ruck situation, but can push forward. Almost took a couple of clunkers last week against the Cats, but beautiful mark.
And finishes it off. It's North Melbourne second. Let's head down to Lee Colby. Colby, Jack came off with Harvey coming off, did he?
Yeah, he did. He's going to run with him all day. So been a great player, Kieran Jack. Not only now does he tag, but he actually gets the ball going the other way. And we've seen already in this game a beautiful left foot pass to Lewis Roberts-Thompson.
It was a great goal from Todd Goldstein. We watched his game last week, and I think it's a great move starting him forward. He's got good lateral movement. More importantly, dropped a couple of those marks last week.
He actually said this week, Todd Goldstein, his 22 possession game against Geelong in that loss last week was his best game that he'd ever played.
Really, I mean, he was good. He could have been a lot better with a couple of marks, but he looks like he's going to be a very good player for a long time for the Kangas.
Kennedy out of the middle, straight to Moore. His kick smothered, back to him. Thought about giving a short, gives it long. Malcheski off the side of the boot and out of play on the full. The strange part about Goldstein saying that is he had a 5-goal game against Melbourne last year. A breakout game for him where he dominated, got Brownlow votes and was virtually best on ground, and yet the game last week and the loss, he said, was better because he grew as a player.
Well, that tells us, Dwayne, he sees himself as a ruckman,
yep, that's
not
true.
a forward.
Tarrant toward McIntosh, stolen by Goods to Kirk. And Malcheski again, inboard. Trent Dennis Lane, handball slips off the mud to Smith.
Good vision.
Short. Malcheski can go.
Great smother.
Brilliant smother from Scott Thompson. Malcheski back in, tied up. He dived on it, so he's in trouble.
Yeah, he's in trouble. North have really come to play. They've tried to play in a couple of times, Sydney, and had the ball smothered, so they're in the game, North, their intensity.
Is it Thomas? Manhandled at half forward. Toes it inside 50. Kennelly, Hanbury, Grundy, LRT. Heads wide. Jude Bolt.
End up with Nick Malcheski if they can get the ball going. Oh, he had plenty of space, but a little bit slow.
O'Keefe, nice pass though. It's away from Greenwood. 29 possession game himself last week against Richmond. Also back into some form after being concussed early this season, and it knocked him around a bit in more ways than one. Garland.
Good tackle, good.
Stripped of it. Richards inboard. Mumford gives it up. McGlynn. He dropped that as he was tackled. No holding the ball free. Back to Richards. And he misses the shot, Ted Richards.
He's getting his hands on the ball. He had 5 disposals already in the first term. His first score with the one behind, but he's been very lively across half forward.
From the kick in, Pratt manhandling Trent Dennis-Lane. Takes it across the boundary and will get a ball in.
Good start from Adam Goods, though. Paul Roos giving him the opportunity to play in the middle of the ground. He's had the 4 disposals. Very good tackle length.
And Spud, it was actually refreshing to hear Paul Roos just tell us where Adam Goods was going to line up. He's going to start in the centre of the ground for the first bounce, and 20 minutes before the game was good to hear.
He'll be criticised for that. He was criticised for telling his players off for conceding a 5-goal lead to the bottom team in the competition last week. He got angry about that, losing to the bottom team after being 5 goals up.
That's
so
extraordinary.
As a coach, you're not allowed to get angry, Brian.
I think he was criticised last year for taking it too easily and being jolly on the bench, so you can't win either way, Paul Roos. But
the Gen Y don't like the bait now, do they?
I don't think they do, young players. Well, just 7 games to go for Paul Roos after this if they don't make the final at Sydney. I think he wants to go out in style, though. Kirk inboard and Bevan under it. Stood his ground, took the mark, come up from the back pocket to take that one.
They are running forward very well, the Sydney Swans defenders. They're using the ball fairly well, but they're all pushing into those dangerous spots.
You see Jude Bolton there win that clearance. He's averaging 30 disposals, Jude Bolton, the last 4 weeks. So, super clearance play.
Big kick this for Paul Bevan. Back into the team this week and drills it.
We'll go for free kick away to Daniel Wells just a few minutes ago at the other end of the ground on holding decision. But as with Lewis Roberts-Thompson and Shaw and Matner, they're running very hard to find space. And there's a number of players around every congestion, as we see with this situation here. And great kick from Brett Kirk. Probably wasn't exactly knowing who he was going to go to, but the point was, kick the ball to a dangerous position on the ground, which leave your opposition vulnerable. On that occasion, good mark from Bevan and goal.
So the defender kicks one on Daniel Wells.
That was such a good kick because it was 20-25 metres out from goal rather to the goal line, where it's very easy for defenders just to scrub it over the line. They get possession, only concede the 1 point, but 20 metres out, very dangerous spot.
Secondary ball up. We'll see if the umpire bounces it here or tosses it in the air.
None of the boundary throwing. They've definitely advantaged the Swans. It didn't go central. Yeah.
And a good bounce too. Mumford straight down. O'Keefe besieged. And we'll get another ball up. Some pressure on a few of the ins for the Sydney Swans. Brett Meredith into the team this week. Ted Richards, Paul Bevan also in the 3 changes, but Trent Dennis-Lane as well. Young of games is game number 2, given that Lewis Jetta sparkled in the reserves about an hour ago. He was sensational, best on ground. And Jesse White kicked 8 goals in that game. Rawlings dragged down by Malcheski. Umpire allows play to flow on a little. And Jude Bolton put his head down, gave to Malcheski, heads it long. Mumford turns back, runs in, and that's a super goal from the big man.
That's great agility there from Big Money. He's been fantastic in the ruck. But have a look at the forward options. Adam Good stay in the middle of the ground. You think, who's going to kick their goals? Again, Jude Bolton. Tough as they come. But have a look at the recovery here from Shane Mumford. Just turns Robbie Tarrant around. He'll learn from that. Robbie Tarrant had to keep himself in between the goals and Shane Mumford. But that's a great agility to pick up and then kick a super goal on the angle. Great goal. First game of Robbie Tarrant. Great goal from Shane Mumford, but he'll learn from that, Alistair. Just had to keep himself between Mumford and the goals. He just allowed him to turn him a little bit easy there.
And conceding that kind of goal can shake up a young player. Mike Pike into the ruck, does some tackling. Goldstein gets his own clearance. Grundy read it well. Gets away from Hanson and he's beating him early. Richards having a good game, although he spills that. Thompson, inboard. Pratt takes on Richards. Hanson, right. Got one-on-ones ahead. Floats it long. Petrie, Lewis Roberts-Thompson, Warren. Hacks it forward, but Kennelly can tack this through if he wants to. He was under enough pressure. to get away with that.
Quick transition here.
Inside 50s are identical. Actually, North are 1 more 11, Sydney 10. But the issue for North Melbourne at the moment, Alistair, that Sydney have scored 7 times for 10 entries.
Meredith, Kennelly, Shaw.
That's a bit of a worry early. 70%, so you're scoring every time you're going in.
Big concern.
Smith forced to backtrack, but he sets it up nicely. Mike Pike is doing well.
And Goods is forward of his opponent, may get the opportunity.
Shaw made that tough. Hanbury.
Still on Adam Goods.
Goods, he took the step.
Oh, absolutely.
And played on, but didn't have prior opportunity, did he?
What?
So does your prior opportunity start after you get told to play on?
I reckon he's had prior opportunity. He's decided to take off.
Yeah, I'm with you. And we discussed that with the umpires pre-game.
I'd suggest that's prior opportunity.
His prior opportunity was he was free and he decided to run into the tackle.
And he's given up as well, just conceded.
I think he thought it was holding the ball. So they get away with one here. The Swans, Jude Bolton, Kennelly, McGlynn. Campbell attacked it nicely. Harvey, handball smothered. Stolen by Shaw on the rebound. Well played, Meredith. Through traffic
McGlynn's
nicely.
on.
McGlynn, he's got the pass option. Well, he spent that before it earned it. Gets tackled way high by Harvey.
The intent was there from the skipper, Brent Harvey. Just not the technique on that one.
Floats it toward Hanbury.
Well done by Goldstein. Just
Shaw
push
can't
back.
get it.
The big claw in the road.
26 minutes gone opening term.
Here's Reece Shaw. He's leading the competition in running bounces. Don't think he'll get too many opportunities today on this surface.
Although Lewis Jetta in the reserves had about 25 of them.
He was playing with them, though.
He was.
He was absolutely toying with them.
I think if Paul Roos could have taken him off at half-time and played him in the ones,
He's Goods again.
Goods from 60. This will bring him back into form. And that's the tale of his year.
It is. It is just a real tale of his year. Just hasn't quite been on, but he's been involved in the game today, which is a really good sign. He's had the 5 disposals.
Adams, and it's raining, so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt with that drop. Ball getting a little slippery. Pratt hugs the boundary. Moore also found it tough with the slippery ball. It's out of play as we head down to Lee Cole. But how heavy is that rain, Lee?
The tarp's out, boys.
Have a look at it.
Hey, boys. The Bureau Met, I've just had a look, and there's plenty more coming too.
Good luck. We'll see you up here shortly then, Colby.
Well, that's some bad news for those who love a free-flowing game. It might get a little muddier and a little slipperier. High on right. Sam Wright signed until the end of next year, which is good news for Kangaroo fans. Heads wide. Petrie, Roberts Thompson. Petrie wins it. Cunnington inboard. Bevan floats in and marks.
Turning well together down there in defence, the Swans.
Now they're dropping off their direct opponents pretty well and trying to block up the space to where the ball's been directed to the key forwards of the Kangaroos.
Kennelly, Smith, Shaw and wide to Meredith.
Kennelly's playing on a tall. The issue in the ball, it's the deck. He's had 8 disposals already, Ty Kennelly.
McGlynn to Lewis Roberts Thompson, who's drifting down quite a lot. Hacks it inside 50. Tough one to mark. Rawlings with the crumb after Pratt couldn't mark it. Tarrant dragged down. He's already had 4 reconstructions on those shoulders. That's why he hasn't been able to make his debut until today. And that was a tester for one of the 2 shoulders that are strapped.
Massive players in the forward 50 for the Swans here.
Campbell. Wells. They flooded players back, North Melbourne. Swallow. Hands it off. Adams. Right. Worked this nicely. Rawlings to the free man. Adams. Trent Dennis-Lane came at him. Overcommitted. Rawlings. Heads long. Hanson the target. Kept out of it by Grundy well, so Lewis Roberts Thompson could feed back onto it. They are teaming well in defence, and as it's teaming down, they've got plenty of players around it here, the Swans. Meredith. Kennedy. Tough hard volley. Sit up. Hanbury. Meredith. Once again Kennedy. Now Jack. No strange sight to see him breaking tackles. Pike. Back to Jack. Turnover. Swallow. Dragged down by Kirk. Got up. Gave the handball off to Lower. Crowd wanted ball for Rito.
Harvey's pushed forward by himself in the forward 50.
Bastanak. And he misses Hanson.
It was
The
a
Swans
dangerous
could be
kick.
back in
He didn't
here.
hit it.
Grundy. Kennelly.
Nearly up to tag Kennelly the way he's playing at the moment.
Grundy. 9 possessions now for Kennelly. Richards.
He's been
Strong
good.
hands.
Teddy Richards too.
He's looking for a spell, Ty Kennelly. He's on fire, Lee Colbert.
He's been outstanding. They've tried their very best to get him back to the goal square, but as per usual, he pushes off whenever he gets a chance.
Richards told to move it on. We're inside a minute.
Tempted to switch this one.
And a pretty good switch as well.
Very
Too far
good
out to
kick.
score, Meredith, you'd think.
Oh, goal square's open.
Short, straight down the middle, Kirk.
That's inexcusable. You've got Moore and Kirk on their own, 40 metres out from goal. Now, it's okay to zone space when there's no other player around. But when you've got 2 Sydney Swans players in a dangerous area, you must man them up. Or at least stand a metre in front to force them to kick the ball over your head.
Yep.
Not 2 or 3 metres behind.
He's done well in his first game of the year, Brett Meredith. Game number 8 overall, but he's come in this week. First taste for 2010. He found Kirk. He can stretch this lead to 19. That is gold from the captain.
Well, he always gets excited when he kicks the goal, Brett Kirk. But you can understand what's on the end of this game. It's an 8-point game.
Well, here's this quick kick you were talking about, Spud. Just players by themselves, just standing. Kangaroos players had just spread and left the corridor open, and there was no defence there. It's a good conversion from Brett Kirk, but yep, the Kangaroos coach's box will be very disappointed about the lack of accountability in that part of the ground.
Well, if you're going to zone the corridor, zone the dangerous area, and the dangerous area is exactly where Meredith kicked the ball to Brett Kirk and Jared Moore. The issue was there was 2 Sydney Swans players on their own. 4
seconds left in the quarter. Not time enough, you wouldn't think, for a clearance at a mark. Quarter time. 8th versus 9th on the AFL ladder. Both teams coming in 7 wins and 7 losses for the season. And just 7 games to go after this. The winner in the 8th tonight. 8th spot up for grabs to the victor. And Sydney on track. 5-4-34. North Melbourne 2-3-15. Head back out and get to their close seats again.
Yeah, there's plenty of rain starting to come down, that's for sure. And the ground is reasonably heavy for a modern AFL venue. There's been plenty of rain in Sydney over the last few months.
O'Keefe tries to get the first clearance, gives it straight to Harvey. Last person you want to give it to Wells. A floater again, tough to mark. And Lewis Roberts-Thompson did do enough to mark that, although he got the free for in the back.
Yeah, I think they jumped on his back after he hit the ground, Dwayne.
He was lucky though. Kennelly wide, good slides on the wet turf.
He's relishing the opportunity just for some freedom into the midfield. Good coaching from Paul Roos.
Yeah, just to run and look for the ball rather than rely on the ball being delivered to you under enormous pressure.
And his work rate's been good also. He's had the 3 tackles, so he's the leading tackler for Sydney in that first quarter.
Brett Kirk probably enjoying the mud. And he just 7 games to go after this, unless the Swans play finals in his career. Brett Kirk. McGlynn wins the free.
In everything. McGlynn, number 8 disposal.
Hanbury called into that well by Smith. Trent Dennis Lane inside 50. Peels onto it for the Swans. Ferrito manhandles him and across the line will get a ball in.
Again, they're switching the ball beautifully today, this one. There's Ty Kennelly. He's had 10 disposals already. You know, he started on the tall. He's on Ben Warren at the moment. So you'd have to understand the weight of numbers there, Ty Kennelly's way. You have to play a defensive role on him because his handball receives at 5 already, Ty Kennelly.
Mumford trying to get his own clearance in the middle of it all. Didn't have an opportunity. Will get a ball up.
And of course, the best way to stop his run is hit Ben Warren up when North have got the ball. But unfortunately, he's played on Lockie Hansen. Warren's only had the one disposal, Lockie Hansen. So Ty Connelly, that's a huge concern for Brad Scott.
Harvey the clearance to the middle. Petrie tries a little flick back to Lindsay Thomas. Roberts Thompson touched it up nicely to Malcheski. O'Keefe, can he hit a man? He can. Bevan inside 50 again.
That's good use of the ball. And spot on, Dwayne. Bevan pushing forward, starting to get used. O'Keefe's had the 8 disposals and uses it so well. 3 inside 50s, leading the way with McGlynn for the Sydney Swans.
Is he still on, Brent Harvey?
Not sure at the start of this quarter.
Yeah, it started on him this quarter, I think, with Kieran Jack off him, although that's across the face and just to behind.
So a little let off for the Kangaroos.
The disposal, they're going 76%, Sydney.
Sorry, I sent Brett Harvey. I meant Daniel Wells.
I thought you did, Wayne.
Yep.
I got confused with the question when
right.
you said that. I looked at the matchups.
Well, he's playing on a back flank against Daniel Wells, and at the moment, having the better of the contest. Goods having the better of it as well. Peels back to the midfield.
Kick.
And there were 3 options, and Hanbury pulls out the winning raffle ticket.
Again, in the corridor, just before quarter time, they mark one in the corridor, and again, 3 Sydney players. They play this ground beautifully, by the way, the Sydney Swans.
Good contest from Adam Goods and stayed on his feet. So he was in the contest, did enough to push, I think it was Goldstein out of the road, but they were just lining up through the middle of the ground there.
From 45, gets close to the man on the mark, and that caused him to push the kick wide. Daniel Hanbury started well last week, 18 possession first half against Richmond, but just a 6 possession second half when the Tigers took control of that game.
The effective disposals, Sydney are going at 12% better at North at the moment, so they're using the ball a hell of a lot better.
Pratt takes on Richards dangerously. Bevan waits under this, goes, and Mumford steals the second grab from him.
Here they are again.
Jude Bolton inside 50. McGlynn tracks it down, gets a handball out. Malcheski pursued by Swallow. Malcheski to his own advantage. Swallow takes him and the ball across.
Well, it was a rush kick into the forward 50, but McGlynn was only a good pass away from being hit up in the forward 50 by himself again. So just got to tighten up on that aspect of the game. The Kangaroos just currently just too loose with their midfielders running into the forward half.
Bastanak to Garlett. Runs back inside defensive 50 to Rawlings. Hacks a long 50-metre kick. Not necessarily to anybody. Petrie knocked it down.
Clever
Campbell heads goalward. Nice kick off the boot. Heading towards the opening and bounces through.
That's a terrific goal. Drew Petrie won't go in the stat book as a mark, kick or handball. It should go down as a goal assist because it was a deft tap there to Matty Campbell. There was good awareness, good connection. You see Rawlings going to his vice-captain there in Drew Petrie. And just that little deft tap there to Matty Campbell. Reece Shaw just lost him in transition. Had to play a little bit closer. He assumed the ball was going over the back, but he had to have total accountability on Matty Campbell there. Good goal.
Well, it's just what the Kangaroos needed. The Swans have dominated possession in this quarter so far. Had the 2 shots at goal, but haven't been able to convert.
So the umpires have started throwing it up in the middle. Kennedy gets the clearance. McGlynn takes the mark.
He's on fire, Ben McGlynn.
Leeds come wide. Trent Dennis-Lane with the fist knocks it down. Almost a free. It is a free for in the back to Scott Thompson. Back pocket, gets some booze.
Yeah, he just got in nice and low and drew the free kick, so it was good play.
Rawlings, to mention, a 36 possession game against Geelong last week, but not really decisive possessions, many of them. Getting a lot of them in the last line again today, as he did last week. Wells, toe poke away. Campbell, the hot man, toward Petrie. Slides into it. Lewis Roberts Thompson. Campbell with a couple to beat. Can't beat them all.
Very wet underfoot there with the boundary umpires throwing the ball in.
Harvey and Goods going together at this stoppage.
Ball to the back. Hanbury caught way high by Garlett. Strange attempted to tackle that.
Yeah, clumsy one.
Either clumsy or deliberately barbaric, one of the two, but we'll go with clumsy, given the benefit of the doubt. Bevan spears that. Trent Dennis-Lane drops it. Makes amends. Kennedy, Jack, short poke. McVeigh, Jude Bolton will do. Thompson had a piece of it. Rawlings now got it. McVeigh's got him. Ball up.
That's a win there for Sydney. Holding the ball in that real dangerous zone here. So North just have to touch and feel, make sure they get someone goal side between the pack and the goal square.
Huge pack around this ball up as well. And Pike tries to break free of it all. Comes to Adams, but Kennelly should shoot it back inside 50.
Oh, he's too smart, Kennelly.
Oh, a little slip. Hanbury short. Campbell with the fist. Hanbury gathers. Jack can't slip this tackle. Slung 360.
Good pressure, North.
And lower,
Well,
breaks free at half back.
Work their way through this.
And no one to kick to. And Wright slips on the mud. Strange to see a game played in mud.
They're away in North, they get through.
And they don't get through. Grundy clever. Knocks it away though to Wells. Finds his way through some traffic. Sidestep in the glue. Sends it long. Harvey in a one-on-one. Shaw goes up. Keeps his feet. Harvey drags him away. Roberts-Thompson wide to Shaw. Made that a 2-on-2. And Shaw almost deliberately rushed behind. It's clipped the behind post, and that was almost deliberately out of bounds.
It was.
There was a player there in his defence, though. There's no one there, Dwayne.
So you can kick it behind if there's a player there, can you?
I think he was trying to get it there, but he knew that if he didn't get it, it was going to be a boundary throw and a point, so it was well disguised.
Oh, wasn't a real good attempt to hit the target.
Good.
He was playing the percentages.
Meredith, Malcheski, Kennedy. And once again, Trent Dennis-Lane doing well.
McGlynn's around centre-half forward again.
She's got the big man to beat and beats him. Ferrito went high. Couldn't bring it down though, McGlynn. Adams, Campbell, back to Adams. Swans have formed a wall. It'll go to one of those men in the wall. That's Lewis Roberts-Thompson.
Well, it's just a dumb decision there. You've got Thomas and Harvey deep, so you go long. Had to kick the ball to space into the North Melbourne players' advantage.
Bevan gave to Shaw. Would have been a free downfield. Advantage paid, and that's not advantage. Because Cunnington's taken the mark in the middle. He's got Lockie Hansen. He was ignored. He's having a quiet day at the office. Lockie Hansen. Lewis Roberts-Thompson's not.
Well, they had to hit him up because that's his direct opponent, Lockie Hansen. Lockie Hansen's trying to do a defensive role. There's no doubt, Dwayne, you called it. He should have hit Lockie Hansen up to transfer play.
He was free. I'm not too sure why they ignored him, but with Petrie back in the team, it looks like they're ignoring him quite often.
Well, their last two forward entries is just dumb decisions. Simple as that.
Grundy to Moore. Takes the step plate
He's
on.
gone.
Caught high.
Oh, he's
Wright
lucky.
should have gone lower. And that's almost reportable. Umpire came and had a word to him. Let him off. Grundy floats it inside 50. Richards can't get there. And Scott Thompson does.
It's
Takes
scrappy at the
mark.
moment, both on execution and decision. See the high contact
gee.
on Moore. That's not real flash.
Just a technique issue there. Spoken like a...
Gee, you give the benefit of the doubt quite often, don't you?
It was a technique issue.
Free kick to Harvey here for a push out in that contest.
And Brent Harvey just trying to milk a 50 there by running back so the ball bounced in front of him from Kieran Jack. Oh, grab that.
Yes, exactly. High. Hansen's under it. Can't get near it. No one grabs it. Kennelly, dangerous place to be thumping
I'm
the
sure that was
ball.
the best.
Campbell tried to go off the grass and out of play deliberately.
The ball should have went over the boundary line. I'm not sure hitting it 40 metres away from goal towards the goal square when you've got Campbell and Thomas sweating on you is the correct play.
Sigh of relief from Ty Kennelly.
He did chase his own tap though.
He
didn't
was going quick.
He had to.
Right contest free. Who's it going to?
You're both holding
Mike
initially,
Pike.
but then you ended up wrapping him up.
Okay, so there's your explanation. Both holding initially, and then Mike Pike wrapped up in the end by McIntosh. O'Keefe wide. McVeigh, Pratt.
Good spoil.
Good fist.
Yeah, good spoil from Daniel Pratt. Just the kick was elevated just a little bit too much. Gave McVeigh plenty to do under that ball. Allowed Pratt to get in the spoil.
Has been scrappy, difficult conditions for AFL. Players not used to a muddy surface, nor these rainy conditions combined with the mud. There was a game played on this ground before this game, and it's definitely chopped it up. Grundy, just in time, Smith. Shaw. Got McGlynn, needs to be good. Sits on him a little and thumped away easily by Ben Cunnington.
That's an interesting matchup. We see McGlynn come off the ground. Ben Cunnington, their first round draft pick, giving him a really hard job on Ben McGlynn. Normally plays a lot of his football in the midfield, so giving him a pretty tough job, because what Ben McGlynn does, he works hard and runs hard.
O'Keefe, Kennelly, who's been running hard, holds his ground, kicks long. Richards flies, coasts up, didn't touch it. McVeigh did. Farito, nice gather after an initial fumble. Scott Thompson, players coming at him left, right and centre, makes it tough for Cunnington, goes back and helps him out. Moore ties him up, wraps him up, and he tunnels it across the boundary line and gets away with it.
Lee Colbert, footwear's a bit of an issue at quarter time for a few of these boys.
It's been a trend all day. Ty Kennelly went and got his boots. Lindsay Thomas, geez, Carly, the boot starter's moving very quickly. She'd be happy with that, boys. But there, Lindsay Thomas's boots. She's travelling.
Looks like a Benny Hill film.
We said before, I can't believe actually guys go out there with moulded sole boots.
No,
it is definitely screwing conditions.
Glad we didn't see a bald man chasing Nick Smith.
It's a game of defences this second quarter. Both sides putting extras behind the ball. That's why I've got a lot of indecision when going forward.
LRT, indecision
like
there,
this.
and he turns it over to Pratt, who fumbles the mark he should have taken with ease. And across the boundary line will get a ball in. There is Ben Cunnington, who Danny was speaking about earlier. Their pick 5 last year, North Melbourne. Yet to be nominated for the NAB Rising Star this year, but he's had probably a better season than some that have been nominated. Big bump on Swallow. O'Keefe,
that's
Goldstein, splendid tackle.
Good tackle from the big ruckman. Stayed involved and pinned the arms, and very good. Uses it well, usually as well.
And the tackle hurt, which gives you the added bonus. Lindsay Thomas.
Yeah, he's got Drew Petrie deep. Needs to move it quick. He can't go long now because he'll be outnumbered.
Sits it up again. And Petrie flies. Got hands to it. Wells and Adams almost fight each other for it. Wells turns back inside. Gets a Shepherd and now gets a kick. Bouncing ball that'll lose Petrie. Rawlings comes down from half back and turns it over when he should have kicked the goal. Goods, Kennelly, Malcheski, and once again they work it beautifully from half-back. Although Richards held up by Farito. Just as I called it beautifully, it was mighty ugly.
Farito's asking the question, why wasn't it holding the ball? Maybe Ted Richards there got a handball, but that was the perfect corralling of an opponent coming at you there.
It's the big hit on Swallow by Shaw. I think they both hurt themselves out of that. Goldstein the palm down to lower.
But once again, Danny, we just saw that transition out of defence for the Sydney Swans. They were held up more because of the lack of options across the centre wing and half forward. Big numbers being pushed back from both teams at the moment.
Harvey again inside 50, but Grundy leads Petrie to the ball. Lays a tackle on O'Keefe. Play on the call. Smith strips it. Jude Bolton back to O'Keefe. Richards comes hard, attacks it. Tarrant caught by Meredith, got a handball up just in time. Farito to Rawlings. He dropped it under pressure. Meredith lays the tackle. Farito gets them out of trouble. Thumps it long. It's not full of skill and beauty and grace, this game at the moment, but as we've mentioned a couple of times, tough conditions and maybe the weight of the pressure on these two teams as well. Spot in the 8 up for grabs. Both teams 7 wins, 7 losses coming in. This is an 8-point game in many respects. Team that wins this will be inside the 8 with 7 games to play. Malcheski, Bevan, Malcheski, Wells wrapped him up and pushed him a little.
Just in the back. So free kick just to allow the Sydney Swans to hold things up a little bit, try to hit up a few targets, because the run, the free-flowing play off halfbacks, just not quite working for them at the moment.
There has been talk about protecting the ball carrier, the ball winner in those instances. Beautiful smother by Petrie. If there's a push in the back and the tackle is not 100% correct, give the benefit of the doubt to the guy who has the ball.
Beautiful smother there from the vice-captain, Drew Petrie.
Goldstein. Little flick down and gets his own ball. It's a 2-on-1 though. Kennelly and Roberts Thompson both standing there with Petrie.
You've got the corridors opened up.
Oh, they can go here big time. O'Keefe looks up. Got Hanbury wide. Needs to be good. Not good enough. Cunnington takes the mark, and now North on the rebound. 17 minutes gone, second term. They're winning this term at the moment, North. Right, long.
Oh, he's
too long
struggling,
for Petrie.
Drew Petrie. Just see there, he tried to jump off the leg.
He's hurt himself, hasn't he?
I think he's struggling. He's missed. He's only played the one game this year. He's broken both feet.
He has. He broke the left foot. He broke the left foot pre-season.
He's hobbling.
Missed the first
he's in trouble.
9 rounds of the year. Came back round 10.
He's looking like Dwayne coming up the stairs at 3 games.
Unfortunately, he actually is.
Yeah, he is.
Colby, how's he going at ground level from your point of view?
He's struggling.
He's really struggling. I'm not too sure. He's coming to the bench now, actually.
Yeah.
So hopefully, fingers crossed, it's neither feet.
Absolutely. Pratt takes the mark.
His body language doesn't look great.
No, that's not good news at all.
5th metatarsal in his right foot it was that has caused him to miss the last few weeks, so we can try and pick up from the hobble which foot that is.
And it's soft conditions too,
Yeah.
Dwayne and Lynchy, so let's hope he's okay.
Yeah,
Scott Thompson.
Disappointed.
Never kicked an AFL goal. Will he get a chance here? Handballs it back. Harvey kicked plenty like this in his time. Thumps it long. Goal square. Rights down there. Goldstein. Roberts Thompson thumps it through.
Well, that was a great spoil from LRT. We saw in the first quarter, Todd Goldstein took a very strong mark in the goal square, but on that occasion, perfect for a key defender. Had a run and jump and got the spoil over the line.
I think he's going straight to the runes, Drew Petrie.
Well, that right foot, by the look of it, that right foot appears very sore.
Tom Turner worked there, the conditioning coach, walking to the runes too. Let's hope he's okay.
I haven't done a lot of lip reading, but I think he was saying he's not entirely happy at the moment.
Sad news that for the Kangaroos.
Oh, it is.
And if they're to make the finals, they need him. But if they're to make the dent in the finals, they certainly do need him. Goods was held after the handball. Play on advantage.
50 metre.
And
It's got to be 50
instead. Okay,
it has
you're right.
to be 50.
So Goods will be within range here.
Well, he's had the 10 disposals, Adam Goods, 3 inside 50s, 4 tackles.
Where's the umpire coming to? He's trying to work out where the 50 will be. And it's 47 metres from goal. It is a 50-metre downfield, is it? No, Smith thought it was his.
Yeah.
Gives it back to Goods.
Well, Goodsy actually gave it to Nick Smith, which is surprising.
Yeah.
But he's
when
got
you're
it
out
back.
of form, maybe you do that.
Maybe. Should get the journey.
Did kick 2 goals against Richmond last week from 15 possessions. And bends that back. Awesome. Big smile for Adam Goods.
You've got to hand it to Paul Roos. He said pre-game, Alistair, that he's going to unleash Adam Goods.
There's the big story of the game, actually.
Oh, that's sad. With watching Drew Petrie going to the North Rooms, and I know Lee Cole will be all over that at half-time. But getting back to this game, Adam Goods, and that's great coaching because he's been playing centre forward most of the year. They had a really ordinary loss last week against Richmond. He's thrown him into the midfield. He's given 2 goals away. He's had 11 disposals. Now he's kicked a goal.
Little unlucky there, North Melbourne, with that 50-metre penalty and goal. They're a lot unlucky with the injury to Drew Petrie. And now it's a 19-point lead again.
It's Todd Goldstein will go to full forward now. With Lockie
Goods
Hansen.
inspired at the moment, Adam Goods. Thompson can't mark it, hits the deck. Rawlings, touch play on was the call. Ball bounced unkindly for O'Keefe. Bastanak attacked it well. Thompson, Rawlings makes it somebody else's problem. Right, Kirk, Malcheski. They can smell blood here, the Swans. McGlynn, 6 minutes or 5.5 and change to half-time, and Scott Thompson wins a free too high. Short pass, Bastanak, Warren. Hasn't seen a lot of it yet. Ben Warren, this will be possession number 3. Hansen likewise has hardly seen it. Garlett, McIntosh, lead comes. Goldstein gets there for the bouncing ball. Roberts Thompson half had him, then Goldstein half had him. Pike, turnover. Harvey, McIntosh. Can he get it on the boot? Gives it back to Harvey. Runs out of trouble. Floats it goalward, but it's wide. Behind.
Well, the real worry for Brad Scott at half-time, Alistair, is the form of Kennelly and Malcheski. They have 31 disposals between them. And they're more than half of their disposals are handball received. Yeah. So the run and carry out of North's, because the inside 50s are the same, 26 all, yet they've only had the the 3 goals. So it's coming out like a trampoline at the moment.
It is, and mainly through those 2 players had the half a dozen rebound 50 possessions.
Lee Colbert, blood rule, I understand.
Yeah, blood rule, Scotty Thompson with his nose. He's with the other club doctor. Colin Metropolis is with Drew Petrie. The other one is Dave Velton, and he's the one that actually saved a Swan supporter today from having a heart attack, can you believe, on the plane on the way to Sydney.
Yeah, they nearly had to turn the plane around. I'll let you talk more about that shortly, Colby. Garlett gathered, but is in turn gathered, tries to get it away, holding the ball.
Great tackle there from Josh Kennedy.
Kennedy at half-back.
Another good recruit for the Sydney Swans, Kennedy.
Absolutely. Malcheski hugs the boundary. O'Keefe, thumb clear. So, Colby, there was a danger that the gentleman was going to lose his life on that plane.
Yeah, he was very crook, and we were told that a medical officer was required, and Dave Velton, the club doctor for North Melbourne, put up his hand and went and assisted, so did a great job.
It was nice of him to assist a Swan supporter, but Colby, just find out for me, that club doctor is new. I think he's a Swan supporter, even though he's the club doctor for North Melbourne today.
Just got the colours on, mate. He's North Melbourne now.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Doesn't take long to change.
Well, unfortunately, he's got his hands full again with Drew Petrie at half-time.
Yes, they've probably got a long-term problem there. That foot's broken again, and that'll be 3 foot fractures within the space of 20 weeks. And that's a sad, sad story for North Melbourne. 4 minutes to go. They're still well and truly in this, though. 18 points the margin. So despite it appearing as if the Swans are winning this second term, it's actually North Melbourne that's won the term so far. It was a 19-point lead at quarter time as Petrie heads to the rooms with a look of resignation on his face. It's an 18-point lead right now. It might grow, though. Rawlings, Cunnington, Tarrant, McIntosh, little drop, and that's all it takes. Kennedy short, and Hanbury 50 from goal, thinks he's too far out. Trent Dennis-Lane on the line, takes the mark.
Good lead, good vision.
He can kick goals. His first attempt in early first term wasn't that flash. There's plenty of whistle blowing.
The umpires are ringing back as he went out around the mark. He tried to use the boundary line, but he has to come back in line with the goal umpire.
And the umpires these days basically put you up against the fence.
Yeah, he will be on the fence, especially at this ground.
So Lee Adams off for the blood rule as well. 21-year-old, mature age recruit. Picked 55 in last year's draft. Trent Dennis-Lane in game 2. Hit the goal on debut last week, and that's why he's in the team. He can do that.
Well, he didn't have to worry about coaching on the mark. He just went back and slotted it straight over the goal umpire's hat. They've desperately needed that Sydney for a whole range of reasons. Look, they're well in front. It's only their second goal for the quarter. Both sides have had nearly 14 inside 50s, only 3 goals scored for the game. It's got one for the highlights package the second quarter. But that really does hurt. Just on time on. Sydney kicked the goal on time on again in the first quarter, so Brad Scott won't be too happy with those 2 goals late.
We've had a few hyphens over time, the Sydney Swans. Who's their best?
Few. Well, I'm trying to think. Lewis Roberts Thompson. Who else is there?
Simon Minton-Connell.
Simon Minton-Connell, yes, good one. Yeah.
There's a better one than that.
There's a better one from Sydney, Dwayne.
David Rees-Jones.
David Rees-Jones. I come up with that pre-game and forgot it then.
That's why I gave you that. I was ready for the line and you forgot your own line.
What about Trent Orman-Allen, boys?
Yeah.
Bit of gold from Colby.
Nick Farr-Jones.
We're talking Swans at the moment, though, we were. Harvey Long inside 50. Mumford can't take the mark. Off hands. Opportunity for Warren. Snap. Looked nice off the boot. Has it got the carry? Bastanak marks into square. No need to play on there. He'll be directly out. No angle required.
Well, he thought about it.
He didn't know that it was going to be no angle required.
No, good mark.
This Ryan Bastanak. 3 minutes from half time. Margin the biggest of the game at 24 now. Cuts it back to 18.
And the thing it does, it actually means that North Melbourne are leading the quarter by 1 point. I mean, they trail in the game by 18 points, but just for the quarter, I think they could be going to half-time reasonably happy with the position they're in. I think they've been outplayed in this quarter. Possessions heavily in favour of the Sydney Swans for the term and for the match so far, but they haven't been blown away on the scoreboard, North Melbourne. They're putting some good pressure on, and maybe that is the reason why inside 50s, Sydney haven't been able to hit targets.
Every game this season in his debut year, Ryan Bastanak, and back to a 3-goal lead. 2 3/4 minutes left, and a big 2 3/4 minutes in the context of this game. Jack gets the clearance, wide ball. McVeigh, Rawlings, clever McVeigh.
Great run
found Mumford, who
too.
tried to repay the favour, turned it over to Harvey, rolls it, Hanson, can't tap it on. Jack steals. Swans might go forward. Mumford back. Meredith gathers the slippery ball. Brett Kirk, clean hands. Jack. And now Grundy. And normally uses it well. Centering kick. Jude Bolton flies. Can't mark. Gathers the crumb. Gives it up. Malcheski was it a throw. Malcheski goals regardless.
No, he's going to bring it back, is he? Oh, no, he's all
It's a goal.
clear.
He's played advantage.
That's a good goal. You touched on before, Nick Malcheski's been very handy. Leads the game with 19 disposals. And with the likes of O'Keefe, Kennelly, especially off half-back with Shaw as well, they're running the ball very well off half-back. 13 handball receives, you're pointing out to me, Danny, and that is fantastic work rate by Nick Malcheski. You've got to be very careful not to give him too much space. They have to shut down the likes of Malcheski and Shaw at the moment.
The big difference in the game, you couldn't knock both sides for hardness, Alistair. And I don't look at stats, but when you look at the uncontested possessions, you've got 153 to Sydney, and you've only got 85 to North. So it's the run and support and the carry, as you talked about, from that half-back line. That's been their springboard for attack today, the Sydney Swans.
Warren, ridden a little by Jude Bolton, no free. Harvey, Bastanak. Goods.
And Spud, last week as we saw the Cats and Kangaroos play, it was cross half-back and deep defence where Geelong dominated the Kangaroos as well with the massive possessions.
Shaw a fumble. Jack knocks it out. McIntosh came hard. Kirk goes low. Bastanak just as low and hard. And we'll get another ball up with 1:23 left on the clock. Paul Roos hoping to take this 24-point lead in to the long change.
The North bring two tools in Tarrant and Drew Petrie, who's injured. And Paul Roos didn't change his back half. He actually took another tall out of his back half with Ted Richards. So he's just relying on the run and carry of it versus the tools of North.
Adams long. Goldstein one-on-one. Roberts Thompson got a fist, can knock this through cleverly.
And that's what needs to happen. Goldstein, it's okay to have tools down there, but you don't mark the ball. Sydney are running the ball out. So Lockie Hansen has only had the 3 disposals. Goldstein has been up forward in the ruck, and forward he's only had the 5.
And as deflating as it must be to have Drew Petrie off for North Melbourne, they've essentially now got the team that's been inspiring for the last 2 months. Because they haven't had Drew Petrie the last 2 months, so there's no reason why this team can't get it done.
Well, they need at ground level. They need ground level support, and that's where I think the rest in ruckman, Goldstein or McIntosh, if they can just rest at the top of the goal square, make a big contest in that forward 50 somewhere, and bring in the likes of Thomas and Campbell, get them to hit the front of the pack. That's what they need. They're not going into their forward half with any confidence whatsoever at the moment.
Goods, a wobbler found. Bevan hacks it long. Richards, Pratt almost. Richards toward the boundary. And with 37 seconds left on the clock, we'll get a ball in. Scott Thompson with the strapping on the nose after a blood nose earlier. They're down 1 man for the rest of the game, North Melbourne.
That doesn't look comfortable, especially if he's got a mouth guard in as well, which you'd suspect he has. It'd be hard to breathe.
Well, you've got Kennelly and Ben Warren. Kennelly's had 17 disposals. Ben Warren's only had the 4. So that's a huge discrepancy there.
Might be just the role for Ben Warren, obviously at the guidance of Brad Scott. Look, let's
It's a
forget
tough one
about
for him.
your
Yeah.
forward game at the moment. Let's make sure you just tag Ty Kennelly and shut him down.
McGlynn to Jack to full forward. Richards, arm slapped a little. Wells toward the boundary. Ball in.
Because I think, forwards like Ben Warren are still going to naturally get involved offensively. But if you tell him your major focus is to shut down the ball carrying Kennelly, make sure he's never by himself. Let other people go by himself, but he doesn't have any space at all for the rest of the game.
Especially when Sydney get the ball.
Yeah.
15 seconds from half-time. Play on the call. Moore, kick smothered. Down to 5 seconds. Rawlings hacks it out of the area. That might be good enough. Boundary line looming. Siren sounds. Sydney by 23 points at half-time in the driving rain and the mud at the Sydney Cricket Ground in this round 15 clash for 8th spot on the AFL ladder. Sydney Swans came in 8th spot. North Melbourne came in 9th. Both teams 7 wins and 7 losses. And yet, in many respects, the Sydney Swans virtually a game ahead of North Melbourne, given that their percentage is about 25% larger than North Melbourne's. 107% coming in the Sydney Swans to North Melbourne's 82%. This is a massive game for that team, North Melbourne, if they're to play in the finals in 2010. And for the Sydney Swans, a huge game if they're to play in the finals in Paul Roos last season as coach. Let's head downstairs. Lee Colbert.
Freddie, you have to get a wriggle on now, mate. Just starting to slip away. You've got to really tighten up now.
Yeah, definitely. They've been really intense, the Swannies.
It wasn't great, but he's out there. He's going to have 5 to 10 minute crack. If it's okay, he'll stay on. Otherwise, he'll come off.
Well, that'll give all North Melbourne fans a spark up, and it might even give their team a spark up. Second half underway. Little push, and Jude Bolton is the benefit of it.
Well, they need to get their running game going, North Melbourne, to have any say in the game. Just have a look at the free kick there.
Not a lot in that.
No, it was a push in the side, man.
And towards Richards. Moore had a piece of it. Cunnington. Swallow. Works his way through some traffic nicely. Rawlings wide, and all Swans. Kennelly coming off a spectacular first half. Might just take it to the line here. It does. 17 possession opening half for Ty Kennelly. And the good side for North Melbourne is they've got so many players who can actually lift their rate here in the second half. Lockie Hansen, 9 goals in the past 2 weeks. 1 kick, no goals so far in this game today. He could spark up. Swallow. Maybe last year's best and fairest could inspire them. Swallow kicks toward half forward. Lindsay Thomas, there's another one. Just 1 goal today for Lindsay Thomas after he kicked 7-5 2 weeks ago. He might spark up. Gets a handball out, but to McGlynn. Back to Kennelly. A wobbling, rolling ball. No, it doesn't get a chance to roll. Cunnington cuts it off.
Well, at least North Melbourne then put pressure on Kennelly's disposal.
Looks like Sam Wright is running with Kennelly. I'm sure he won't get anywhere near as much space as he did in that first half.
Just a 5 possession first half for Swallow. Hansen gets it inside 50. Doesn't get the benefit of a free. Jack got it from Bevan. Back to Kennelly. Campbell came at him. Made him give it to Grundy. Caught. Just got it away in time. O'Keefe in some space. Only got one-on-ones to kick to. Pratt with more. And that's almost a win for Pratt. Ball in.
Need first goal of the Kangaroos just to get some good feeling through their team at the moment. They've battled away. Not too bad. Their pressure's been good, but just haven't had their hands on the ball enough to really pressure the Sydney Swans.
Daniel Wells is another one. Just a 10 possession first half for Daniel Wells. He could get it going in this term as well. Greenwood thumps it forward. Grundy went with the best fists. Lindsay Thomas, Smith gets it away to Shaw. And last line of defence, they get out of trouble again. Bouncing ball towards Jack. Harvey's with him. Have been side by side all game. Super tackle, Brent Harvey. That's ball.
It is.
That's got to be ball.
Great tackle. Didn't give away the free kick. Was all over Kieran Jack, Brent Harvey. Fantastic work.
He's worked hard, Brent Harvey. He's going out for disposal number 18.
Gee. But if he's going to pass it to players who let him down like that, Garlett can't take the mark, and Sydney come up with it. McGlynn, Kirk, Hanbury. No one to go to free, although Trent Dennis-Lane made some space.
He does. That's one thing he actually does very well, Dennis Lane. Find space. Hasn't been used all the time, but can find space.
Kirk gets away from Rawlings. Too far out to score, and he knows it, so Doesn't play on. Waits for the troops. Short pass, McVeigh. Half volley, not paid it regardless. Swallow. Boundary line looming. Ball out. Good tackle, Kirk.
Well, they've had a great duel, Brett Kirk and Swallow. They've actually nullified each other. Swallow's had the 7 disposals. Brett Kirk only the 10. 10 disposals. He took his eyes off the ball there, Bruce Garlett. That's a great example for anyone.
Looked to dish it off before he'd received it.
Greenwood had a piece of it. Hanbury likewise. Mumford back through. Wells lays the tackle. McGlynn. And can't do anything in that small space. You would count that as a win for Kirk, though, wouldn't you? Swallows there, young,
Definitely.
rising best and fairest. Yeah. Kirk's running on fumes at the moment.
I agree. It is a win for the Sydney Swans. Kirk's doing a good job. I mean, you think if the Kangaroos are going to win, they need Swallow to have big disposals and very important disposals into the forward 50. He's just not been given any space, as every opponent that comes up against Brett Kirk is given no space at all.
Goods, was that a handball? Just got it away. Kirk got it from Hanbury, gives to Jude Bolton. He kicks across the face. Behind. And if you're unaware, Brett Kirk is retiring at the end of this season. 232nd game today for one of their all-time greats, Brent Harvey. He'll play again next year as a 33-year-old, which is good news for the Kangaroos. Well, not good news that he's 33, but good news he's playing again. Boy, do they need him. Cunnington, Harvey, right. Hugs the boundary and maybe hugged it a little too closely. Warren into the fence. It was touched. And it'll be a ball in, although some fans thought it might have been out. Umpire's having a chat here. Out on the full. So the two umpires are having a chat to see if they can get this right, out on the full or not. No.
Tyke, now he just tried to talk him into it.
He's not as good as Favola. Fev talked him into it a couple of weeks ago.
He did. Actually took it off him here at the SCG.
It did. Tig's a little more diplomatic. Bastanak tries to burst through. Mumford wrapped up by Bastanak.
The big man.
Adams helps him.
One of the matchups I'm really liking here in the second half of Brad Scott is Daniel Wells has gone on to Adam Goods. So hopefully that'll free up Wells a little bit. Goods will still get his disposals. Wells will try and hurt him the other way instead of just tagging Adam Goods.
And Adams with the clearance. Inside 50. Hanson can't mark it. Bevan can't crumb it. Petrie caught. Got a kick away. That's good news. Campbell tracks it down. Manhandled by Shaw. And a little toe poke to the boundary and we'll get a ball in.
Brett Kirk is tough there.
That's great work from Brett Kirk. Paul Bevan, he's the loose man in defence. Just got to make sure he keeps the ball in front. Allowed the ball to slip through.
He's the heart and soul, Brett Kirk. Have a look at that. Swallows know he's the toughest, one of the toughest players in North's team. He just beat him with that hard ball.
Ball knocked down. Mumford clever for the man you spoke of. Kirk to Bolton. Speaking of heart and soul, Kirk, Jude Bolton, Adam Goods. Heads wide towards Richards. Robbie Tarrant, first game hasn't been magnificent just yet. Can he make something of it? He can't. Turnover. McVeigh, Ferrito gets them out of that mess. Rawlings floats it up. Mumford. And the mummy rises.
That's a strong mark. Danny Wells put some reasonable pressure on him, giving away a lot in size and weight, but good pressure, but great grab from Mumford.
Danger.
Well done, Petrie.
Cut off did Petrie, knocked it down. Grundy in the mud. Caught by Bastanak. No prior opportunity. Bastanak stripped him of it. Lindsay Thomas should stroll in. If it bounces, he's away. Roberts Thompson tried to shut him down. He misses. Can you believe it?
Well, it was a great pressure from Roberts Thompson, though, Dwayne. I agree with you, but it was just the pressure. You could see Lewis Roberts Thompson here. Don't know whether he gets. Oh no, he's kicked it before he hit him, so it's a bad miss in the end.
That's all mental pressure.
No, it is. No, it was too casual, Dwayne, in the end.
Well, I mean, he could be casual, but he needed to be mentally solid enough to know, well, I'm going to take this hit, but I'm still going to get my kick away well.
But it was the mental pressure, you're right. It was well called there, Dwayne. The mental pressure of Lewis Roberts Thompson bearing down on Thomas, but he had to be strong enough in his mind just to focus on kicking the goal straight.
Yeah, and know you're going to get hurt doing it.
Well, that's right. That perceived pressure builds up over a half a game. You know, you've got the Sydney Swans, they're always on to you, so yeah, just lack of composure.
Meredith. Takes some time. And on the list a couple of years now, picked 2607. Brett Meredith. And just his first game of the year, and he's doing well. Pushing the back to O'Keefe.
Again, just a couple of little signs here for the Swans, positive signs. You had Kirk going lower and harder, and then you've had O'Keefe pouncing on the loose ball to wear a free kick. They're only little things, but they're little wins.
And this man has got his hands on the ball on a couple of occasions early in this third term.
Jude Bolton and Ted Richards came hard.
Well done, Ferrito. Good spoil.
Cunnington, Adams, nice sidestep. Kick was touched. O'Keefe touched it down to Malcheski. Little slip, back to O'Keefe.
No right foot.
Lindsay Thomas came at him. Ty Kennelly hacks it forward.
The Gaelic still
Pratt
there.
takes on Bevan. Not the man to be taking on. No prior opportunity, though. And he gets the benefit of the doubt. Well played, umpire.
It was well played. Daniel Pratt just had enough time to realise he had to brace and try to crash through the Paul Bevan tackle. Good effort from both players.
Yeah, man raised with a rugby background. Paul Bevan knows how to wrap up a man coming at full tilt. Holding free.
What about the Gaelic skills of Ty Kennelly there off the ground, though?
True.
Talk about skills from other codes.
Daniel Pratt would have played a bit of league, I'd suggest, as well, growing up in Brisbane.
It's true. Shuffles it through right, does Daniel Pratt on cue.
He's hurt himself, he's cramped up, Daniel Pratt, just behind this contest there. Hopefully it's cramped.
Well, we're only 9 minutes into the third term, so
Yeah,
in some ways it'll be good if it's cramped, but in some ways it won't be. Pratt, because they need him.
Well, he didn't want that.
And he's cramped up again.
He did not want that ball.
Now.
Isn't that the way? You're in a bit of discomfort, you've got cramp, the ball comes straight to you. So he needs a little spell on the interchange, if he can get there, just to get the legs freed up a bit.
Well, his man will be free. Goods gets it out right. Bastanak breaks free. Nice hands. Goldstein. Right. Could go for goal from 50. Runs to 49 and runs too far.
Well, it was well played from Nick Smith because he initially went at Sammy Wright and then he stayed back and then he went again. So it put Sammy Wright in two minds. Again, it's just that mental pressure of doing the correct thing.
Well, that's right.
Thing,
just the awareness he'd need to have a bounce. I mean, I didn't mind the fact that he was attacking the 50-metre arc, which was good because there was a loose man deep for the Sydney Swans defending, so he just had to probably take a bounce before he attacked the 50.
Colby, Daniel Pratt's trying to get off the ground. He's cramping there.
He is, mate. He's with the doc, but I hope it's cramped because he was in a bit of strife.
It's either cramp or a wooden leg.
Lewis Roberts-Thompson to Bevan to Kennedy. Smith. Goods calling for it long. Mike Pike's the man. Rises. Got a hand to it. Back of the pack. Greenwood. Meredith with a toe. Ferrito with the boundary if he wants it. Kirk keeps it alive. Hanbury helped him out there. Inboard. Moore. Kennedy. Snap toward goal. Richards gets back and brilliant mark, McIntosh.
Great grab.
He set himself for that. He could have excused him for spoiling the ball over the fence, 8 rows back, but backed himself in to mark that ball.
Can he have a breakout half to Greenwood? Cut off by Mike Pike. Knocks it down. Jack. Short. Kennedy.
Got to hand it to the Sydney Swans. Whenever they're free, they're in the corridor. They're not in the dead man's area. You see McIntosh, beautiful contested mark, eyes only for the ball.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
But that little kick around the Sydney Swans area from 70 metres out, there's always a Sydney Swans player.
You're right, Spud, but we spoke earlier. You think you protect the corridor as a defensive structure. You want to protect the corridor, but it's been very open through that part of the ground all game.
Yet another clever recruit from another club. Played every game this year, Josh Kennedy, at his new club, and he can't kick the goal to give them a 5-goal break.
That is a talking point, Dwayne. I know you love your footy and all over the stats and the history of teams. Is there a better club than the Sydney Swans to rejuvenate and recycle players? Now, a lot of players came when they were in good touch as well, but there's some fantastic players over the last 20 or 30 years that have come to the Sydney Swans and really thrived.
So you're going right back to Tony Lockett and co.
I think you could go back further. I mean, Tui Bolton-Williams, Jared Healy, but I mean, the modern ones, Mumford has been outstanding, probably the recruit of the year for mine.
Yeah, that's true. Campbell and Lindsay Thomas takes the mark. Yeah, Greg Williams would have to rival Tony Lockett as one of their best. Over the head of Warren, back of the pack. Petrie, has he got his feet back? Manhandled by Roberts-Thompson. Gathers, but is in turn gathered. Can't get the kick away. Now does, but rolls it to Grundy, who can accidentally fumble it through if he wants to. Oh, that's deliberate. 3 players just ganged up there and took it over the line and looked at the umpires and laughed.
Absolutely deliberate, but good pressure from Lewis Roberts-Thompson. Drew Petrie just trying to get the free kick, but yeah, you said before in the call, the good sign is he's actually out there, which is great. Well, we thought he might have been out for the remainder of the season in the first half.
He does look like a player who's played one game for the year, though, Drew Petrie, coming into this. He looks very, very rusty if he's not injured.
Well,
Very sure.
Yeah, it's a tough one when you've got an injury to your leg. It means you're unable to run. When you get an injury to your shoulder or your wrist or your hand, you can do all the running, all the match simulation running. You don't have to handle the ball. But when you've got a leg injury, it means you're off your feet. So it's the game where he'll be, the lungs will be bursting after the first 10 minutes today.
Bastanak thumps it back. Petrie up. Roberts Thompson with the fist. Good to see he's got his leap back as well. Malcheski runs with Kennedy's help. Through the glue in the middle. McGlynn pumps it long. Richards.
Well done,
fist from Thompson.
Yeah, good work from Thompson. Just the kick was probably a few metres short for Teddy Richards. Have a look at this big jump from Drew Petrie. Yeah, it hit him fair between the ribs, let's say. But good leap.
McIntosh slapped down. Mumford caught, wrapped up. Ball up.
Just that run and carry for the Sydney Swans again. Kennelly's already had 8 disposals this quarter. Malcheski 5. So they're trying to do the right thing, North. They're just playing too good a footy. They're reading the ball too well. Kennelly and Malcheski now.
Jude Bolton slide. So too Meredith. So too Mumford. Cunnington kept his feet. Campbell spent it before he'd earned it. Taps it with his toe. Pursued by Malcheski. Gets it all the way to the wing though, Campbell. Warren, another player coming off a very quiet first half. Ben Warren, just the 4 possessions, ball up. That's 4 possessions for the game. All of those gathered in the first half. Goods. Malcheski again. Handball half smothered.
Well, issue, Dwayne, for all those North forwards.
Everyone gave that up. It wasn't out. It is now.
That's nearly got to be a free kick for Sydney against McIntosh. The ball was already over the ground, so that was silly in the end. I think he's thinking, well, Malcheski, you've had 24 disposals. I'll make sure you probably don't get too many more.
They'll just switch this
He's a bit sore
across.
too, Nick Malcheski, after that hit.
Kennelly, so it worked. It was worth giving the 3 away. Roberts Thompson, as long as they don't get a goal from it. Petrie backs back with the flight. Grundy.
Oh, they're lined up in the corridor again.
Oh, Petrie cuts it off, but no one to go to. Had to go backwards. And sells a little bit of candy again.
Well, he's got
short
his agility
pass.
back, which is great.
Harvey.
That's 50.
Is it? Oh, very generous. You can see different weekends. That can be 50-metre penalty.
Maybe Harvey has form in that area. A little dive.
Maybe they thought he went to ground a little easy.
That wasn't a good kick, but Rawlings made it okay. Rolled it inside 50, and O'Keefe mops it up. Bevan, Smith, Roberts Thompson, Shaw. They're not in this at the moment, the Kangaroos, but they're not out of it either.
Swallow just on the ground.
Beautifully.
Good courage from Kennedy too, though, because he had no idea that Swallow was coming off the bench.
Jude Bolton long, flicked by Trent Dennis-Lane, taken out of play, and it's stuck on a 23-point lead right now.
Well, there's Josh Kennedy. He had eyes for the ball, then he's looked up and thought, dude, where did Swallow come from? Come straight from the bench.
We see that happen quite a bit these days with the mass rotations that players can be blindsided.
It's been a graveyard for North here in recent times. Not one here since 2004. O'Keefe, Shaw, Kirk. Goods needs to be a good kick. And Goods claims he got his arm slapped. Trent Dennis-Lane, Swallow, Harvey, and the breakout player Levi Greenwood. He's got Ben Warren in a one-on-one. This kick needs to be good as well. Kennelly thumps it clear. Greenwood knocks it down. Kennelly, another toe, and another ball in.
Getting back to David Whitty, played a few games with Sydney and a few with St Kilda. He ran on the bench one day at Moorabbin and ran a yard. That's as far as he got. Got
really?
knocked out. Got cleaned up, unfortunately. Just was 1 metre onto the ground.
Was it Michael Reeves ran about 5 metres on the ground and Dipper got him?
Yeah.
Carried straight back off.
I think David Whitty beat him by 4 metres.
Kick smothered from Hanbury's boot. It's been an ugly third term. Neither team's kicked a goal in this quarter. Campbell manhandled off it. Bastanak tucked into the pocket. And it's kept alive for a while. Meredith played for the 3. Kirk lays a tackle on Swallow. Started this quarter Sydney was 8-6. They're now 8-8. 2 behinds added by them and North Melbourne in this term.
That'll suit Sydney, Dwayne, because they got the 4-goal lead. So if the game is played on these terms, it's on Sydney's terms, because North have to do something extraordinary.
Bastanak, well, Richmond did something extraordinary against the Swans last week, as well as heads wide towards McIntosh. This time last week, the Swans led by 5 goals and lost the game. Right now they lead by 4, essentially, 23 points the margin.
Well, that's what Paul Roos, I mean, I'm sure he's not focusing on that last week, but he'll be still anxious. The fact that dominated possession once again in this third term, 79-44, but haven't been rewarded on the scoreboard. They just need to get some decent delivery into that forward 50 and penalise North for the lack of hands on the ball.
And both teams coming into this game with a loss last week as Harvey pumps it high. Warren flies. Malcheski down to Mumford. Back to Malcheski.
He's on fire.
Breaks free. Sends it long. Trent Dennis Lane. Hands are good.
Well,
he spilled it second grab. Knocked out by Tarrant. Then to Thompson. Back to Tarrant. Wins the possession for his effort. Adams.
No, it was good from Robbie Tarrant there. Just didn't give up the ghost. Then he just, some players lay off when that first hand's on the ball, but then the body spoil was the thing that spilt it. So well done, Robbie Tarrant there.
McIntosh got it from Warren. Sends it long towards Petrie. Caught behind. Back of the pack. Good opportunity. Campbell jumps onto it. Kicks the first goal of the term. It took 20 minutes.
Geez, that's a good result for the Kangaroos. Just finished speaking about the Sydney Swans hadn't hurt the Kangaroos on the scoreboard. Now, Kangaroos gone up the other end of the ground and they've been dominated as far as possession's concerned. They were able to get a goal against the run of play. And the key point there, I think, was at least it was a good, strong contest against Drew Petrie. You'd like, ideally, to get the ball to the front, but the fact there was space over the back, a good contest, took Lewis Roberts-Thompson out of the contest and allowed Campbell to run into a goal.
It's a great result for North. We said they needed the first goal. It's taken all of 20 minutes to kick that, but they've got the first goal. So,
and a sniff that they're still in this contest with 17 points. And don't worry, at three-quarter time, they'll be reminding the North players that they stopped last week. The Swans, we can do it to them again.
McVeigh with the clearance. Sends it long, and a good mark. Standing in the hole was right. I mentioned they both lost their games last week, these two, but North Melbourne, the better form in the loss. They lost to the top team in the competition, Geelong. The Swans lost to the bottom team in the competition, Richmond. And Richmond might be on a flyer at the moment, but they were bottom last week when they went into that game.
And as we said pre-game, I mean, the Swans have lost 6 from 8 going into this round, and 3 in a row to the Kangaroos up until last week's loss to the Cats, which most teams do these days.
Good opportunity again here. Goldstein.
One-on-one.
Petrie can go. Goes and doesn't get it. Good, slaps it down. Moore. Malcheski enjoying his day at the office. Back to Moore.
Ted Richards long.
Ferrito backs back. Richards.
Started off the game well, Teddy Richards. He's been a reasonable target. A bit quiet in the last quarter, but good grab on that occasion. First half was good.
Meredith.
Dangerous kick.
And Malcheski makes it good.
That's a great grab under a lot of pressure, and he's got a little headache out of that one too across the left ear.
In the last 7 minutes, he got McIntosh falling on top of him, and then Cruz Garlett there trying to affect the spoil.
That's one of those ones I could imagine you'd have up as a coach kill, is the elevated kick into the corridor. Just leaves you very vulnerable in your defensive half, because everyone's run forward. Turnover there is usually resulting in a goal.
Goods wide. Jude Bolton can't get there. And the ball out of play. 17 points the margin. And 3 goals from the lead, North Melbourne.
You're right, Ulster. Especially if it's a good kick, you can't move. Malcheski couldn't move, and there's a North player running 15 metres away. So you've got to make sure that player's about 25 metres away.
Yep.
And a free kick. They both wrapped each other up. It'll be Lower's ball. Pivotal game this. 8th spot on the ladder up for grabs. The winner will take 8th with 7 rounds left in the season.
Well, the last 5 minutes, North have gained the momentum. The first 15 minutes, Sydney had all the momentum, didn't score. So it's crucial North get some scoreboard pressure now with this momentum that they've got over this last 5 or 6 minutes.
Nice hands from McIntosh.
He's been good in this quarter, McIntosh, and Cunnington's been outstanding with the 7 disposals. Harvey 6.
Mumford gets back. Solid.
Well, that was a silly kick for McIntosh because he kicked it to his direct opponent. And if you know both ruckmen are playing a kick behind the ball, that's the last place you want to kick it to is your direct opponent in Mumford.
It was actually Mike Pike, and he floated into it like it was Mumford. It was a brilliant grab.
Oh, Mike Pike, sorry.
He's growing as a player, Mike Pike. Smith wide. Roberts Thompson. Wider, Hanbury.
Well, it was well read, Blaine. That's why I just assumed it was Mumford.
Yeah.
So he's growing in stature. That's well read.
Shaw can't mark it, and Wright thumps it out. We're down to 2.5 minutes to three-quarter time.
Shaw pushed forward as a leading target. Usually comfortable back pocket, across the half-back flank as a running distributor of the ball.
Bright sunshine hits the SCG for the first time today. It played almost the entire first half in rain. If you've joined us late, it's muddy in the middle. We had a game on before this, and it chopped the whole centre square area and the goal squares. That's why the umpire's tossing it in the air. Goods tried to slip a handball out in the Kirk direction. Rawlings tapped it out. Swallow dragged into the pack. Sydney Swans' theme for the week from their coach Paul Roos has been go harder for longer. I didn't go hard enough for long enough last week.
4 quarters of footy. That's what we talked about before the game.
We did.
Intensity.
It's an arm wrestle here. 1 goal, 2 to 2 points in this quarter. It is just a tough, dogged arm wrestle. Massive players around the contest. See Paul Roos, a few discussions on the interchange bench, just seeing where he can find a goal in this term.
Goods might find it from arguably his best player, Adam Goods, across the face. That'll do. Mumford.
They did the play well then, Mumford. Again.
And on the angle, but this is kickable by Shane Mumford standards.
Yeah, they're not deep pockets here at the SCG. I think he should just have a look. He's done the right thing, looked inside, and he's getting a bit of direction from, I think, Reece Shaw at the top of the goal square. Just kick the goal.
He's an All-Australian contender the season that he's had, Shane Mumford. String of losses when he was out. That's what he has ahead of him. He bends it back, but not enough.
Of course, Seaby's got an injury also. He was in terrific form at the start of the year. Seaby, Bradshaw, Craig Bolton, 3 structured type players that Paul Roos basically hasn't had since round 6 when they're on top of the ladder.
North Melbourne 90 seconds away from keeping Sydney goalless in this third term. Lower. Bangs it long. Lindsay Thomas gets there but can't get there before Bevan. And Thomas almost pulls up. Now he chases. Smith wide. Grundy breaks past Goldstein. Bevan. Grundy down to a minute. Lewis Roberts Thompson.
They're pushing up hard.
Yeah, they've defended really well this quarter, North.
Yep.
They've corralled well.
That's good.
And they've protected the corridor. In the first half, Sydney owned the corridor. So North have really made sure if Sydney do get the ball, they're pushing him wide. Lee Colbert, how are both benches down there?
Praddy's the one struggling for North. There he is on camera. He's came off with cramp in his hamstring, but it's actually his joint on his lateral side of his right knee. So having a fair bit of trouble in the docker, putting plenty of time into it.
Fans are getting a little restless here at the SCG. Mount
Sure Paul Roos would be too.
backtracks and then gives to Lewis Roberts Thompson. So they've used up virtually a minute working it from fullback to halfback. Jack. And unless they get a mark from this kick,
I should have given it the first
won't be time enough for a score. McVeigh dragged down a little high there on Swallow. No free either. And the siren sounds to end a scrappy third term, a goalless third term for the Sydney Swans. But North Melbourne, who trailed by 23 points at halftime, now trail by only 3 goals at the last change. A spot in the 8 up for grabs for the winner. Sydney by 18. 8-9-57. North Melbourne 5-9-39. That hobble is just a hobble of an okay player.
Well, it appears that way, but he's gone into the doctor's room when he went off the ground to start with, then has returned to the field. So Maybe there was a little injection just to get him through the remainder of the game.
Final term underway. Goods the clearance. Rawlings grabbed it right and now lower. Warren runs for it and does gather. Strange attempt at the mark. Kick inside 50 towards Campbell.
Good
sole
spoil.
goal scorer of that third term. Bumped off it by Bevan. Lindsay Thomas struggles but gets it away. Adams, good hack forward from 45. He's nailed it.
Oh, that's a great start. Sydney Swans had 50 more disposals in the third quarter, yet they didn't score a goal. North scored the solitary goal. It's the last thing the Sydney Swans needed, but more importantly for North Melbourne, they had to kick the first goal to get back into this game. And just see the work rate. Drew Petrie, we thought, was just about cooked for the second half with a sore leg, but it was a great second effort. Kicked the ball out to Lee Adams, and he kicked truly. Great goal, great start.
First goal of the game for Lee Adams. He was a late inclusion against Geelong last week and kept his spot in the team. And that could be the fire starter. From the ball up, clearance is important. Swallow is swallowed. Ball up again.
Well, all the mental pressures on Sydney. They'd be aware of what happened last week. They were 33 points up against the bottom side, Richmond. North are coming hard.
As Lee Colbert said, Paul Roos mentioned that at three-quarter time. So a lot of pressure, a lot of awareness that we did fold up in a deck of cards last week. Can't do it again.
And didn't he emphasise it after last week's game that it was against the bottom team?
Another sore player there for the Kangaroos. And that's not a good sign. Looks like Gartlett. Gartlett is very sore there on that left calf.
Got it strapped up, testing it out. Goods trying to get a clearance away. It was a sloppy kick. Kirk played for the free and got it a little too easily.
Well, he saw the legs and thought, I'll just take a step closer into Goldstein and try and wear the free kick. So that was experience.
Too clever for everyone there. Goods takes on Goldstein. Hacks a kick forward. Right. Tacked it nicely. Adams, Harvey, Cunnington wide. Hasn't been a great day for Lockie Hansen. Beaten again here. Grundy, Jude Bolton. Back to Grundy. Back to Smith. No one to go too forward, although now in the corridor he spots McGlynn. Plays on quickly. They lead by 12. Inside 50 for Rito.
Holding.
He was being held. Plays on to advantage.
Mate, you all the play, North.
Mark that. Tough ball, and it is marked by Bastanak.
Petrie's one-on-one.
Bastanak might go for goal from 55. Petrie, Roberts-Thompson. Ball through for a behind. It's an 11-point lead.
I just had to put the ball to Petrie's advantage there, Alistair. Even 15 metres out from goal so he could run and jump. We saw in the third quarter he still had his jumping ability there.
That's right.
Just to kick it, you see here, just kicked it straight on top of his head, which made it so easy for Lewis Roberts-Thompson to defend that. So it was body on body. He had to kick it to space so Petrie could run and jump at the ball.
Jude Bolton, Lewis Roberts-Thompson, Ted Richards didn't complete the mark. Grundy content to take it out.
The forward half, no doubt, that's where the Swans are falling down. They just haven't had a strong, big option across half forward. As you've seen, they've mixed and matched up forward. And McVeigh's up there, Richards is up there, Reece Shaw's up there now. But just need a big contest to cause a spillage.
Well, you know the man that Paul Roos may be toying with the idea to go up is the guy there, Adam Goods. He's had 26 disposals. He'll be toying with the idea, do we need the dual Brownlow medalist to go and win the game for us?
Wells, almost. Kirk did get it. Jack, boundary line. The crowd's silent at the moment. They have not had anything to cheer for in this entire second half. They're still goalless for the second half, Sydney.
What does Paul Roos say? We start with Goods in the middle. We're still in front by 11 points. Let's leave him there.
Well, that's the thing, but he is confident with the 26 disposals. Maybe instead of resting on the interchange bench, go rest in the goal square.
So Garlett back on. Harvey shrugs a tackle, tries to set it up. Scott Thompson hits Greenwood. He's got numbers on the open side. Campbell's the man he wants. Can't get him. Bevan. Little tap to his own advantage. Half held by Campbell. Bevan knows he's got assistance. Well played, Campbell. Trent Dennis Lane, though, made it a 2-on-3. Smith. Moore. Back again.
It's well worked, and they're lining up. Got to use the ball through the middle here. They've got numbers.
Malcheski found Goods.
Well, how smart was Melcheski just to get back off that scrimmage and know you've always got that release out the back.
Adams is split. We'll go down to Lee Colbert shortly. Up there, a man down. That's a poor kick.
Well, that's a sign that they're trying to play safe football. In the first half, they took the game on through the middle of the ground. You see where Adams had the head clash there, but he had numbers on the open side there, Adam Goods.
He did, and held play up. There's a little bit of frustration from a few of his teammates after that poor kick.
Flick down towards Hanbury. Mumford goes back and gets it. Dropped it as he was tackled. Harvey shuffles it out. Greenwood. Inside 50. Floater. Straight through a number of players. Ty Kaleni hunts it back. Gives it up to Smith. Some poise. Some time. Some indecision. And then a splendid pass. McGlynn. He dropped it, but he got it back. Chips to half forward. Moore.
Go long, quick to Richards in the goal square.
He's got Goods running to the right.
And now an open goal square if he goes all the way. Called to play on.
Now Goods is on his own.
Well, there's a distinct lack of confidence going forward from the Sydney Swans players. Now they're going to try to take their time and work their way into the 50.
Oh, Hanbury to Goods. He had the reach on Harvey, and Hanbury was wise to it. This is a massive kick.
Well, it was a great option from Hanbury. He was aware that Brent Harvey, he's the skipper, and the skipper Adam Goods knew there was a height advantage there, so that was a good option.
Final term is now 7 minutes old, and the Swans have not kicked a goal this half.
He'll take his best.
26-minute mark of the second term was their last goal.
Runs around on arc a little bit. Sends a long ball to the square. There was a push on the line. It's there.
We talked about Adam Goods going forward, kicking a goal. Paul Roos, true to his word, stay in the middle, kick a goal from there. He's kicked 2 goals. He's just about the best player on the ground now with Malcheski and Canal. He's had the 28 disposals. That was a magnificent kick in these heavy conditions. Tired, he's been running all day in the midfield. It's his first game as a non-baller. Won 2 Brownlow medals there. You can see there, just got over the line. Great shepherd there from Mumford. Great game, Adam Goods.
High pressure kick from the superstar for the Swans, Adam Goods. 17 points the margin. A lot of time left in this.
He's been the most influential plays. 28 disposals, 7 inside 50s, 2 goal assists and 2 goals, Adam Goods.
And it will help in a clearance here. Goods, Hanbury, Kirk, Kennedy. Short pass, wide pass, Trent Dennis line.
Good hands. Big mummies in the corridor.
He's quick.
Forward.
Goods wants it again.
Once again, he finds space, this young fella.
Called to play on. Pratt comes at him, and Goods still all alone. And he kicked one from about a metre closer only a minute ago. Is he inspired enough to send this one through?
The adrenaline's in the veins.
It might just test his range by that extra metre though, Dwayne. But yeah, the confidence is up. When you're that extra metre out, sometimes you try to kick it a lot harder and spray it, but he's in good touch at the moment.
Gives it some air. It's long. It's a behind. But they'll take that. It's a 3-kick game. 18 points the margin. Right to Rawlings.
They'll take it just because there's forward 50 entries with scores on the end of them.
Absolutely. Swallow. They need to take the game on now, North, and they know it. And that might help them. Cunnington to Greenwood, the hero a month ago in North Melbourne's last gasp win. O'Keefe. Hanbury just off the bench. Sits it up wide. Wright gets back. Mumford flies with 2. Trent Dennis Lane stayed down. Centering kick. Just a little too far for McGlynn. Mike Pike. McGlynn's with him. Pike out of the air.
Go in.
No way.
Oh, what a goal.
That is priceless.
Oh, no, they're painted out of bounds. You can't do that. That's goal of the year for the big rugby man.
That is a goal we've never, ever seen before in the history of the game.
That's criminal.
And it's been denied. Back into play.
That was the goal of the century.
They might get it regardless. O'Keefe, he kicks Colwood, and that's a behind.
Who cares about that?
The boundary umpire's got no sense of
Let's have a look at Mike Pike here. Little volley. Where is it? It's close. Oh, it's in by 3 feet. and that's gone in.
Oh, that's an unbelievable goal.
It's
actually
post
the post
anyway.
anyway.
Right, okay.
It ruins the story.
Yeah.
Why did we show that? Shouldn't have showed the hitting of the post. It just deflates it a little bit.
Yeah, it does now.
But North Melbourne still in this contest.
Well, now
More
we can say it was a great decision from the umpire.
Yeah,
the
great
umpire.
Warren short to Harvey. Well, theoretically, physics people would tell us that was impossible. Harvey inside 50 and swallowed by Jude Bolton. Running back with a flight.
He's had a good month, Jude Bolton.
Malcheski spears it low. O'Keefe
Little
used
nudge.
the body.
Yeah, O'Keefe's saying, I didn't use my hands, but still you're not allowed to nudge in the back.
The two movements got him. Goldstein
Well
kick
done,
smothered
Mike
by
Pike.
Mike Pike.
He's on fire.
He is. And so's
So is
Malcheski.
this guy.
He can't get away from the ball at the moment, Malcheski. This will be number 32. Just a little shove. Not a lot in it.
He accentuated it, Ben
Yeah.
Have a
Cunnington.
look at the kick of Malcheski also. 22 handball receives.
Been
He's his
great,
partner
Mike
in
Pike.
crime there.
Canelli. Meredith, he played on. He took the step, ran into trouble. He kicked the goal. They stayed off him from 45. Post.
He had Mumford on.
Very short.
Very short. But he backed himself in.
That's
he backed
right.
himself in. He's only missed by 6 inches.
Right. McVeigh, he used the body, but not well enough. Lockie Hansen, hardly been spotted.
That's his first mark, right?
And
That's
the
out
kick's
full.
terrible. 9 goals in the last 2 weeks, Lockie Hansen. He was fantastic for the last couple and been horrible today. Now Chesky to Bevan. Time is on their side.
Drew Peachy can hardly run now, boys. I just saw him over the other side of the ground. Now let's have a look. Lewis Roberts-Thompson's got the ball. Look at, he can barely man the mark now. I think he'll be off very shortly.
I wonder whether it was at half-time. It was recognised that there is serious damage and he's probably out for the season. Well, let's give it one more go to get through the remainder of the game, maybe.
So a little
'Cause
jab.
yeah, possibly, because he's hobbling now, and
Yeah, he's
probably the
always
local
struggling.
is just wearing off, because that's not good.
No, they're a man down essentially. They're playing with 17 and a half men at the crucial stage of this game. Jude Bolton, surely there's someone on the bench 100% fit would be a better option. Kennedy wide. Shaw tracks it, misses it.
We could put Goldstein or McIntosh deep. Or Lockie Hansen. As I said, Lockie Hansen's kicked 9 goals the last 2 weeks. It's amazing. The vice captain comes in and all of a sudden Lockie plays that secondary role. The last 2 or 3 weeks or the last month he's been the go-to player.
4 Indigenous players all on the bench at the same time there. They could put Daniel Wells to full forward. He's not going to be on. He'd almost be better resting there.
We've got some issues though, boys. Gartlett's also carrying, he's got a calf issue. Daniel Pratt's out there as well with that hamstring and knee issue as well. So they've got a few injured blokes who are actually out on the ground.
Yeah, Cruz Garlett's had that injury almost since the opening term. Pike throws Goldstein out of the way. Goldstein accentuated it and wins the free. There's a huge amount of time still left in this. 11 minutes and time on. Ball to the outer wing. Crowd starting to rustle up some enthusiasm. 20 points to margin. Remembering they lost after being 5 goals up last week, the Sydney Swans. 8th spot on the ladder up for grabs. Pike caught behind. 2 ruckman, Goldstein and McIntosh with him. Adams thumps it forward. Swans with the numbers. Big leap, no mark. Grundy dragged down, free kick. Malcheski play on advantage. Smith bounced it, but he didn't come back up. No advantage there. Moore shorts it. Hanbury needed to motor and got there. Tries to spear the pass, turns it over. Scott Thompson.
Yeah, the Kangaroos have dropped big numbers back into that defensive half just to try to block up the leads that were being offered by McVeigh, Dennis Lane.
Nasty kick together, but Bastanak made it okay. McIntosh, somebody from the Kangaroos needs to be the man. Needs to take this game on.
That's exactly right. They've got to take their game on through the corridor, swing through the corridor and risk leaving your defence open with a turnover, but give your forwards a chance.
Hansen got it from Tarrant. Sends it to Ferrito, who's inside 50. And can have a rare shot at goal.
Strong body, Michael Ferrito. I think it was Bevan or Hanbury forward there, but good strong body marking contest. We see this week in, week out from Michael Ferrito. He's played as a key position defender for a lot of his career.
Kicked just the one goal this year, Michael Ferrito. He hasn't had that hero game that we thought he might have over time. 142 games, never grabbed a Brownlow vote, not even a third best on ground. And that, a horrible kick at a terrible time.
They desperately needed that. Time's going to be Sydney's friend, especially when they keep missing shots on goal and opportunities. North Melbourne kicked 6 goals for the game. North no need to kick 3 in the last 8 and a bit minutes.
Well, they need 4 scoring shots, 4 goals to hit the front.
Kennelly heads wide, just a touch by Scott Thompson. That was enough. So 16 minutes gone, final term.
McVeigh's been very quiet, he's only to the 5. Brady Rawlings, another terrific game from him. He's had the 25, so done a very good job on McVeigh.
Goods back on the ground and is pushed forward.
So Garlett's free. He didn't even know it was his. So Cruz Garlett to take it. Just outside 50, spears it short. Bastanak, it'd take his best.
Another one of the good youngsters, Bastanak, 17 disposals today, same as Cunnington.
Backs himself in, loads up. It's a monster. Petrie on the line. Wells a little tap. Lockie Hansen has hardly seen it and nearly, but not quite, hits the post.
Great hands there from Daniel Wells. Good deft touch from Drew Petrie.
It's back to a 3-kick game. 18 points. Now Chesky. Everybody takes a deep breath.
Yeah, good zone in place from the Kangaroos, and no movement is it's evident that the Swans are tired.
Oh, that's on the full.
That was very close. The umpire was in a great spot, but so were we up here, Dwayne. They looked over the line.
That was over the line for mine.
He's their best kick, Mel Chesky, but he really chopped off a little bit too much there.
Roberts Thompson towards Pike. Thumped down by McIntosh. Jude Bolton caught. In the back, another lucky one goes the Swans' way.
Yeah, we've seen more of those in the back decisions paid this week in those tackles.
Thinks about going backwards. Heads toward Mumford, not a bad option.
Well, he's just on the ground.
He's fresh.
Now Chesky's all by himself.
They can nail it shut with a goal here. Turnover. Lockie Hansen. Goldstein. Can he get back in time? He does. Big collision. Fantastic mark.
Good courage from Big Goldie. He would have known that Lewis Robert Thompson's coming. You see Drew Petrie. He made him earn it. It was a good clean hit there from Lewis Roberts Thompson.
Oh, yeah, I don't think Drew Petrie should be that disappointed. Could have been a lot nastier, but just pulled up at the last minute, LRT. But big shot at goal from Todd Goldstein.
Absolutely. He's kicked one today. He's got a 5-goal game to his name, but he's kicked 5 goals, 9 for the year. Huge kick, and they're still in it. 12 points to margin.
Good hard running there. Wasn't a great kick from Adam Goods. Yeah, they control the game there, Sydney. He's just squirted one. The option was on. It was just a terrible kick.
It was
Come off the outside. He just shanked it out the inside of his boot. But good courage here from Goldstein. Lewis Roberts Thompson. I can remember in '94, Tony Lockett was running out of the goal square with Peter Caven. Very similar situation. Come off a hell of a lot worse than that. But both players just going hard at the ball there.
A big contest for both teams. Kangaroos need this clearance, as do the Swans, if they want to hang on to this lead. But the Kangaroos got a bit of confidence, down to 2 kicks now.
From the clearance. Almost Swallow. Got a toe on it. Adams attacked it hard. In the glue pot again. Adams does get the clearance. Play on touched. Wells knocks it down. Harvey wants to kick it himself. Should have given it.
Dropping the ball is very
great
close.
Tackle, Kieran Jack. Tackle of the match so far. Harvey's eyes were looking over the goal umpire's hat.
Well, that was a Sam Mitchell season-resurrecting tackle.
He's probably seen his father do a few of those in his day, Dwayne.
Absolutely.
It would have been back here as well at the SCG when they used to play a lot of rugby league here.
Gary Jackie, superstar father for rugby league.
Could be the game-ending tackle. Still 2 kicks in it. Ty Kennelly wide. Kennedy. We've ticked into time on. Spears it to Trent Dennis-Lane. Punch down. Cunnington took him on. Got the handball up. Tarrant, the first gamer, taken across the line. It's been a long, long wait for Robbie Tarrant, but his day has finally arrived. It might yet be a memorable one.
He's been okay, Robbie Tarrant, today.
Goldstein the flick down. O'Keefe almost tackled before he got it. Ball up. More seconds tick by. We're inside 6 minutes.
Lee Colbert.
He's battled hard all day, Drew Petrie, but he's just limped off, so hopefully that foot injury is not as bad as his previous 2.
From the slap down, Levi Greenwood, gang tackle, no prior opportunity.
Well, Sydney will love this. They'll just love the fact that the scrimmages around the ball. What North need to do is separate, isolate, get the ball to space.
They got McGlynn off the back of the pack here, the Swans, just sitting back as the defensive sweeper, which is a good setup.
Kennedy dragged out. Goldstein doing the ruck work, the tackling, the clearances. One of the most improved ruckmen of the season, Todd Goldstein, and he's up against another one, Shane Mumford, who's an All-Australian contender. Mumford, hands in his back a little there. Kirk, Goldstein, little tap was good. Greenwood kicks smothered. Rolls toward Adams, attacked it nicely. Left it behind though. Hanbury short. Kirk for the crumb. It didn't come to him. Jude Bolton tried the little knock-up. Didn't work. Sam Wright just as competitive. Ball in.
Look at the attack on the ball from McGlynn. Just coming back, went in low and hard.
Like a spinning top after he hit Lee Adams.
He did get hit high. Great work.
McIntosh this time does the ruck work. Ball knocked down. Kennedy again. McGlynn, the man you were speaking of, gives it up to Meredith. 60 from goal. Can he hit a target? Heads long. Shaw. Bouncing ball. Gathers in the pocket. This would be a miracle. It is a miracle.
Well, the little half-back flank has been moved forward and just kicked a ripper to ice the game, and that is great work. Have a look at McGlynn coming low and hard and just got hit high. This one, Reshaw allowed the ball to bounce and just around the body there from the boundary line, if you don't mind. A little leg break as well. And that is a very nice goal. And you'd suggest with 5 minutes to go, that's just about it. One last chance for the Kangaroos at this stoppage. They must score and get a clean clearance.
That's just about the game. Well, he's had a great day in the coaching box in the boundary. Paul Roos, Adam Goods into the middle. Reece Shaw pushed him forward. He's had the 17 disposals, and of course the spread of goal kickers. They've only kicked 10, but they've had 9 different goal scorers, and we said pre-game they had to share the workload down there, especially with Goods going into the middle. It looks like he's gone to full forward now, Adam Goods, so he's had a stellar game. 32 disposals, 2 goals, 2.
Ball up in the mud. Bastanak. Have they got a roll of the dice left? Wells, little nudge. Tries to get it. Kennedy. Slip. Superb, though. Gave it to Kirk, and that's too high. Free kick to Hanbury, and more seconds tick by. It's a 3-kick game. 18 points the margin, and maybe the Kangaroos' final chances will be eaten up in the next 4.5 minutes. Big collision on Mumford by Ferrito.
Their late spoil. Mark had already been taken by the big mummy in another good display today.
They've lost 6 of their past 8, the Sydney Swans, coming into this. They knew how crucial this was. They were top of the ladder after 6 rounds. Push in the back.
They're just winning all the hard balls now, Sydney.
Mumford winning so many of them again.
Yeah, well, no, last week they let one slip. 33 points up against Richmond. They're going to play the game out here today. There's no doubting that.
They thought they got a spray last week. Imagine losing this one.
Shaw flies McIntosh, and he was grabbed after the mark there by Shaw. They've relaxed on that.
Yeah,
50.
I think a lot better on that one now. That was momentum. McIntosh going into Shaw, so that was a fair decision.
And again, Mumford, that kick, you've got to understand where your direct opponent is. It's McIntosh who marked the ball, the long kick from Mumford. even if you kick the ball short down the line, the last thing you want to do is just kick it long down, into the forward 50 to your direct opponent in McIntosh.
They've got a huge trickle-down effect, the Swans. They've got players who do one inspirational thing. That forces another player. He does something inspirational. Mumford, Kirk, Goods, they've all had a piece of the inspirational play at crucial stages. Bevan to Shaw, whose last goal was inspirational, and he might finish it off.
Now he's taking contested marks out of the goal square.
The power forward. He's another one of these players that have got a second chance at the Sydney Swans and really thrived. Was right up there in their best and fairest last year. And has been swung forward. Nice use of the body here. Just held off his direct opponent, Daniel Pratt, and took a nice chest mark.
And Daniel Pratt's a very good contested one-on-one player, so he'd be disappointed with that effort. It was a super kick also.
Came into this game with only 2 goals for the season, Rhys Shaw in 13 games. This for his second in this game, and bends it back. And the Swans might have their mojo back.
Yeah, well, they're back. They're certainly back. That is a very good win at times, certainly through that third quarter. There was nothing pretty about the Sydney Swans, and they just struggled to score. But they've been able to finish off the game extremely well. There's plenty of options in this last term in the forward 50, and that was certainly the deficiency for a major part of the second and third terms, but they've been able to find effective avenues to goal. Rhys Shaw being probably the surprise packet, moving off the half-back flank and playing at full forward.
And the art of coaching, he's a super coach, Paul Roos. He gives the boys an old-fashioned bake after the game 7 days ago, and then said, that's it, move on, won't even do the tape, and we need a better effort next week. And that's seriously good coaching.
Harvey's tried hard again, possession 27, Hanbury. I mentioned he fizzled a bit last week after starting well. Just a 6-possession second half for him last week as Richmond took the game away from him. He is a big-time contender for the NAB Rising Star, Daniel Hanbury, this year.
That was a genuine contested mark in big traffic.
And his stocks continue to rise. Levi Greenwood shrugs that tackle. No one to go to. Rawlings. Bastanak floats it forward, and another rise, and this time a miss from Bevan. Goldstein to Warren to keep the door open a little, but he can't. Only a behind. Would have made it 3 goals in 2 minutes required.
That's a good grab.
Hanbury mark. Now you're pointing out, Danny, the problem is with the Kangaroos, they don't touch the ball. 282 disposals to 418 to the Sydney Swans. They just haven't had enough possession.
I've liked their style because the inside 50s are the same.
Yeah.
And so their style, there's nothing wrong with the style that they're playing under Brad Scott. But you have a look at that, it's 130 more disposals Sydney, but the big worry is the uncontested side of it, that the handball receives, 170 to 90. And a lot of that's league speed and work rate.
Hanbury, Kennedy, Moore slaps it out. McGlynn, they're not done with yet. The Swans, Kirk, bang, caught by Farito. McGlynn's gone back. He could go all the way. Shaw again. It rolled past him. Stops in the mud. Getting back. McVeigh got a toe to it. But Pratt's hand knocked it through.
I think it was Brett Kirk. He got nailed on the tackle and still had the ability to handball over the top to McGlynn. And we just see here, great effort from Daniel Pratt and Shaw here. Just gets a hand on it before Shaw and McVeigh get in there.
I think Reese's eyes lit up there. He's a bag of 3.
How easy is this full forward, Copa? You don't have to run, the ball gets kicked to you.
Well, it might not be all over for North Melbourne when you look at their draw as Wells kicks it long. Richmond next week, and then Essendon the week after. It's a brilliant mark from Pike again. 2 teams that they could, in theory, with their best form, beat with ease. Good slide.
That's a good mark, actually, in the context of the game, and a good one for Adam Goods and Paul Roos. As you said pre-game, going to just try to get Adam Goods in some form, put him into the midfield and run around, and he's done that for 90% of the game. Push forward in this last quarter, and that's a great way to wrap up a very good game and a good win.
That's been the difference. The ability of the forwards when they've gone in there to Sydney, run and jump at the ball. North have been long kicks to stationary targets.
For the biggest lead of the game, 30 points. And it's good to have him back. Haven't seen that big, smiling Indigenous mouthguard for a while.
He's got an outstanding record against North Melbourne as well. Adam Goods over the years. So he would have known if the days today to turn his form around. And his work rate's been there, just the finishing off skills. And today he started the game in the midfield. Now he's been pushed forward. Another improved player there, Mike Pike. It's a beautiful way to kick. You see Goods there taking the ball as high as point. So he's kicked the ball to space to allow Adam Goods to run onto the ball.
Three goals for the game for Adam Goods, and just to continue on the draw home, North Melbourne still to play 4 teams below them on the ladder in the run home: Richmond, Essendon, the West Coast and Melbourne. So still a chance. Sydney only to play 2 teams below them on the ladder in their last 7 games. Greenwood thumps it forward and Moore takes the mark. Sydney next week have Carlton at Etihad Stadium and then Melbourne at the MCG, their next 2. Short pass out of side. Smith hands it back. Kennelly, who's been outstanding again. Kirk likewise. Sydney by 30 points. They go to win with the biggest margin of the game. A shot in the arm for their season. The Sydney Swans, under siege from North Melbourne, hold on to 8th spot on the AFL ladder with their 8th win of the year. 12-13-85. North Melbourne 7-13-55. And Paul Roos, in his last season as coach, still a chance to finish with a finals series to his name. And that has been his trademark here. They've played finals virtually every year he's been here. This is his 8th season. 12-13-85 to 7-13-55.